Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday. There we go. It's Thursday, September the 28th, 2023. It's another Technical Alpha podcast. Glad you could join us today. Got another great show lined up for you as always. Not a lot of news, but some pretty unexpected big news came up this week. So we'll have a bit of that to talk about at the very least. And then, as always, answer some of your very important questions, like are hot dog sandwiches? I don't know. It's like the jury's still out on that one. I say no, personally. No. It's closer to a closer to a hot dog, believe it or not. Closer to a taco than it is a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Just randomly, before I ask you the most important question of the week, regard to hot dogs, Mr. Black. When you were younger, you know, I'm assuming like me, you ate a relatively decent amount of hot dogs. Boiled, yes. Probably?
Yes.
Okay. When you were down bad and you didn't have any hot dog buns, which happened a lot when you eat as many hot dogs as we did when you were young. Bread? Did you go the bread route?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there were times where I didn't have hot dog buns, or where I had hot dog buns and still went for the bread.
Oh, really? There was something. Was it just like white bread? So it's essentially the same thing as the hot dog bun?
Yeah, it's white bread.
Oh, yeah.
It pretty much tastes identical. It's just, and all I ever was just a ketchup guy. So yeah. I didn't have a bunch of shit that like a hot dog bun would hold, like properly.
Just ketchup.
It's just ketchup. That's it.
Are you a beef hot dog guy or a pork hot dog guy?
I don't even know. I don't eat hot dogs now. I'm like scarred from them.
Oh,
like
that's fair.
I ate them so much as a kid that
can't go anywhere near them anymore.
I won't touch a fucking hot dog. Closest thing is a sausage. That's the closest thing I'll go to.
Will your stomach even handle a sausage anymore?
Yeah, it can, but I only can eat one.
Okay.
I can't eat like two or three of them. Right? I can eat them, but I'd be shitting out eye of a needle.
I'm gonna say I won't shit myself, but I'm the same. Like after one, like I don't know if it's because there's too much fat in it. My stomach is just like nah. Time out.
Yeah.
Like it tastes when you bite into it, it's juicy, but then you realize what's in that, and your stomach's like, bro, let's calm down.
Yeah. For me, if there's sausages there, I'll always have one, but just one, and then I'll go nuts on the hamburgers and whatever else is there.
Gotta pump the brakes. Well, with that out of the way, very important information to release to the public. Personally, by the way, to answer, I am a pork hot dog kind of guy most of the time. The only all beef hot dog I've ever liked is the one that's at Costco. Costco's all beef is pretty fucking good. Otherwise, and people are like, do you know what goes into a hot dog? Bitch, grind that shit up. I don't care if it's nose, eyeball, teeth. I ate that shit's delicious. I don't care. I'm not now. If you hand an eyeball directly to me, I'm not eating that eyeball. But if you grind it up, put it in a hot dog, shit. Mr. Black, most important question of the week. How's your week?
Honestly, it's been kind of a shit week. It's been like
okay, that's the first one in a while. You were on a bit of a hot streak, so it had it coming eventually.
I mean, it's just been a week, man. I can't even really point my finger on exactly what it is.
Is it just like a bunch of small stuff that's just kind of like annoyingly just a bunch of fucking shit, stuff at home, fucking stuff property wise, fucking just being in a sort of a shit mood, just not really, it's just one of those weeks. Happens, bro.
Life is fine, but it's just like it's just been an annoying week. I didn't work all that much. I've just been kind of
feeling a little unproductive despite doing things.
Super unproductive. That's okay. I'm gonna get back at it tomorrow, and and then just kind of write this week off and go into next week. So sometimes the weeks Murphy's Law comes up on a twice a day. The bi-daily basis, Murphy's Law say, hey, bitch, if anything bad can go wrong, it's going to happen. Yeah. That's been my week.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't say mine was particularly shitty. I did have to play a lot of hours of Starfield, so in some degree it wasn't amazing, because I had to play a lot of Starfield. Somebody actually came in and chat. I think it was Major. Came in chat and he said, bro, I gotta be honest, I don't know how the fuck you're still playing this game. I said, neither do I, but you know what? I gotta review it. I'm dedicated now. I'm in it. You can't always man, if all I did was review games that I liked, it'd be the most boring review channel of all fucking time. All people would be like, oh, if he's putting out a video for it, obviously he likes it. And so, like, you know, you gotta mix it up. But I'm like 80 hours deep now in that, and continuing on. And that was most of my week. Didn't have to do too much else because the retaining wall out back, I finished. It's done and dusted. And all of the other landscaping back there that I plan on doing really this fall, with the exception of maybe like some small stuff. But I even cleaned up a lot of the junk rock and stuff that they backfilled a lot with years ago, to use it as drainage in the retaining wall. So I just raked it all up. Dad and I raked the whole fucking backyard up, dumped it all in for drainage rock. That was the only upside to like the property being in the state that it was, is that there was a lot of just like material that you would typically have to like pay somebody to truck in. It was just there. It just so happened to be in a state that you had to like collect it yourself. It wasn't in a neat pile.
Give me a sec. Keep talking.
Yep. So I did that, and then I'm happy. The wall looks good, and M's thrilled with it, and everyone's thrilled with it, and more important, it's level. Hopefully it stays that way over the winter, but you never fucking know around these parts. Nevertheless, other than that, in Starfield, that was pretty much the show. I will say that if you're interested in my current thoughts on Starfield, because I'm only going to say this because I've gotten asked like 5 times a day on the stream. Starfield is like, I mean, last week I said it was like an unenthusiastic hand job or paint by numbers. And that's totally true. But if you want like a video game representation of what Starfield is, like take Mass Effect, any one of them really, the whole series, any one of the games, take Mass Effect, and then take all of its like superior narrative writing and character and story interactions and questing and combat and music, and take all that stuff that's like on the top shelf in modern gaming history, all of that stuff. Now replace it all with mediocre to below average versions of all of that, and then add shipbuilding and base building, and you have Starfield. That's pretty much what you're getting with that. And so, you know, in most cases, I would say, unless you're somebody that is you know, really invested in stuff like the shipbuilding, which I actually really like, or base building in general, which I think there's probably other games that are, you know, that provide that service better. Not the shipbuilding, that's relatively unique, but the base building. Then, you know, I don't know, you would have to have a very high tolerance for Bethesda-isms, because they've really, my God, I almost want to say they're phoning it in now. Like this game feels a bit phoned in. It is so by the book Bethesda that it's very challenging to see that they've progressed at all. And you know, I'm happy that it's doing well for them, I guess. I'm a little disappointed that people are like, on one hand, I'm happy that people can enjoy the game, because everyone should be able to enjoy, you know, whatever they want to enjoy. But the quality is suffering bad because people are just able to stomach a lot of mediocrity just because it's a Bethesda game. But that's about it, really. Jeff is not back. I have no idea where the hell he went. I'm wondering if there is a chance that there is something in our list that I can cover that he wouldn't want to talk about anyway while he's gone. Let's see. Oh, most of the stuff is actually just like, I'll mention this one because it's kind of a one-off. So just before the podcast, this popped up. I just was on my way home, actually, when this started rolling through. Apparently, Epic has announced that it's laying off something like 16% of its employee base. Like 16%. That's a big number, especially when you consider how many employees they have, which, as it turns out, is over 800 in total. Some of them we know who they are. Others we're not sure just yet. I mean, it's a long list. I am pretty certain that that some that were laid off were the team that brought you and everyone else Fall Guys, which, of course, many of you may or may not know. I suppose, that they were bought by Epic not all that long ago. So they made Fall Guys. It was a big success. Epic bought Fall Guys. and now they're out of a job. It's one of those consolidation stories going the wrong way as far as I'm concerned. It's a shame. I feel like they could have probably handled that better. Now, all of those people are likely to find work. They're all very talented individuals. But it's the tech industry in general. Everyone's shedding employees. I think what's getting people a little bit confused, and we'll talk about this in relation to another one of the points in the podcast I have here in my notes, but I think what's getting the general public, and probably more than anyone, the employees that are getting laid off, a little bit confused, a little bit head tilting, is a lot of these companies are recording massive profit, and in some instances, record profit. And then they come out and say, well, we have to cut all these back because we're spending too much money or blah, 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 blah. And more than one time that we've seen, it's come along at the same time as the upper ends of the company, the C-levels, have gotten like major bonuses, and then they fire 15% of the company and then say it's, they're spending too much money, and it just seems kind of farcical. And so very, very, very unfortunate, and we obviously wish everyone that got laid off the best. But Epic did say, what we know about it, Tim Sweeney came out and said that evidently it is because Fortnite. He just mentions Fortnite. He even though it's Epic Games, he just mentions Fortnite. But we all know Fortnite is 90% of the company's profit generation, or revenue even in general. But he said that they're spending more money than they're making as of late, and that was the chief reason cited. And he called out specifically the content creator or the creator side of the deals they've been doing. The maps we talked about in the podcast. I'm just talking, Mr. Black, about Epic Games just before the podcast announced they're laying off 16% of the entire company.
Okay.
Which is a little over 800 people, and a good portion of those people were the team that they bought that made Fall Guys, that really super popular game that was doing quite well, and they were part of all the layoffs. So we were just talking about that. Tim Sweeney, who's the head of Epic, said that it was because Fortnite is not making enough money for what they're spending, and then he referenced the creator side of that equation, which I'm assuming is in reference to the fact that they came up with that program not long ago where map makers and whatnot would get paid for their contribution, because a lot of people were playing these content creator maps. And the cut was 40%. It's a big fucking number. And so as it turns out, that was probably too big of a fucking number. I looked at the financials just out of curiosity for Epic Games in general for as recent as we have, which is 2022, which really means 2021, because it's, trailing 12-year data that you're going to get for that kind of thing. And other than the fact that the chart looked like a straight line, like a fucking, a 50-year-old man on Viagra, shit was just straight up and fucking ready to roll. Other than that, if you look at, that was like their revenue and their profits were quite high, but the profit stalled. You started to see profit stalling, and then it started to chip away a bit, and it's not as profitable as you might think, because if you hear revenue from Fortnite, it was something like between $5 and $7 billion in a calendar year at Epic Games, most of that being Fortnite related, of course, because if you look at, for example, the Unreal Engine, $90 million or some shit generated, like pissing in the fucking wind. It's all Fortnite. So, but just looking at their financials, you could see they were floating around $1 billion profit, little greater than that. So they're making big money, but they're spending big money to try and get there. And it looks like maybe, he's not lying. It's definitely, the sheet's not telling, you're not looking at the profit, loss going, oh no, he's just bullshitting. They're literally clearly spending more than they should to attain the amount of money that they're currently generating within the company. And I got to give them a little bit of props. I think most people would if they look back and take it seriously. Like if you look at Epic in 2012, the company was worth $900 million. It's now worth $32 billion. 10 years. And the bulk of that happened in the last 5 years. Exclusively Fortnite. Pretty much. And Fortnite has had a lot of legs. Like, not a lot of games in the space, that Fortnite occupies has had nearly the fucking length of success that they have. So, they've obviously done well by it, but they've made some unfortunately bad decisions. And this is coupled with the fact that the entire tech industry is bleeding people like crazy right now. Because the money ain't free anymore, Mr. Black.
No.
The money costs money now.
Yes, it does. By the way, that was just, I have my truck in the shop and they're just calling me. They're going to call me back. So I am going to have to step away again for like 2-3 minutes. I don't want to be rude, guys, but it is what it is. Like I need to.
That's fine. I actually did, coincidentally, I just got, like, before I was here, I was literally taking my RAV out of the shop.
Well, the mechanics, they always try some stupid shit, bro. And I'm like, bro, I've been down this road a million times before. All right, what do I need? And what are you suggesting? That's literally what that's literally what they're saying. I'm like, dude, the truck is a year and 10 months old.
It don't need rotors.
Fuck off. It's a brand new fucking truck. Fuck right off.
Stop the madness.
I told him straight up. I'm like, listen, man. He's like, yeah, and you could use some new tires. I'm like, could I use some new tires or do I need some new tires? These are two totally different things. I need definitive language because the tires are a year and 10 months old. Okay. All right. I don't drive particularly all that much. Okay. So what is it? And I have 4 brand new tires in my thing. I'm like, bro, I came in to get an MVI done on my truck.
That's what I got my MVI today.
Yeah, and for you to do an oil change, all right? I'm not fucking looking down the barrel of fucking $3,000 on a brand new fucking truck. Fuck right off. So I told him straight up, talk to your mechanic, let me know what needs to be done. If not, do the oil change, fix the fucking sensor that's under warranty, and then I'll take my truck somewhere else and get an MVI because you guys are fucking crooks. Fuck you.
That's crazy, bro.
Straight up.
I'm driving on the same wheels I got when I leased the RAV in year 1.
Isn't it crazy?
I'm on 70,000 kilometers on these tires over the course of,
not even a third of that yet.
6 years. And then these guys are over there saying, your truck needs new rotors. If that was the case, then I would never purchase from that manufacturer ever again. That would be the worst possible fucking.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, we were gonna sand down your brake pads, but like we don't really want to sand them down because if we sand them down anymore, it's gonna venture into the like you need new brake pads things. So I'm like, okay, listen, man, what is it that I need to get the fucking thing MVI'd? He's like, oh well, I'm just going by what I'm like. Well, you need to talk to the mechanic and then fucking call me back and let me know because I'm not playing these fucking games, man. Like you guys, just. See how my week's going? This has been my week. This has been my week, bro. This has been my week. So anyway, I digress.
But yes.
Let us continue. So I can rant first.
Yeah. So they anyway, that's kind of that portion of the news. So everyone's getting layoffs. Some companies are definitely taking liberties with their reasonings behind why they're laying off. This does not seem to be one of those cases. This seems to be reasonable. It is very unfortunate that the Fall Guys team is part and parcel of that because they were literally not bought that long ago, and Fall Guys' game has been very successful for what it is, and they're obviously a very talented group. So obviously they will also get jobs, I would imagine. They shouldn't take too long to get themselves back into work, but nobody wants to wake up and get an email. It's like, hey,
this is the tech industry, man. We're in a recession. It's fucking, this is
it's tough.
Expect more.
Like the whole industry that's not like a senior software engineer, and even them, they probably wake up every morning and check their email, and I bet you almost every one of them are going, is today the day?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. Anxiety every day. Maybe today's the day.
Oh my God, dude.
All right. So
just the stress level through the fucking roof.
And it's going to get worse. It's going to get fucking worse before it gets better. So.
Yep. For sure. It's gonna be a bit of a bloodbath. But you know what tends to happen in these things? The silver lining to all this is that just like anything, what tends to happen, like you'll get a lot of small businesses will randomly fucking crop up out of this to provide jobs for smaller pockets of people. Instead of everyone just working for like one of 5 companies, you'll get a bunch of shit. Like what happens in hard times for Black innovation. You know, hard times breed that shit, right? People have to come up with shit to do. Like, you don't have the easy option anymore. You got to do some crazy shit. And some, people go out there and make the fucking magic happen. And so, it will be tough though. You're not wrong. It's likely to get worse. The industry will continue to make cuts as time goes on. And except for the C-level stuff, they're going to get paid more money. Everyone else is going to get fired. But the C-level people, they are going to 100% jerk themselves off in dollar bills this entire time. Just like every other company, they're going to go and be like, all right, we're going to lay off 15% of the entire company because we don't have money. And then the next day you'll find out that they just paid the entire C-suite out in like $300 million worth of bonuses. And you're like, oh, that's the kind of money we're talking about not having. Oh, okay, well, that's fine. And then just, off you go. Speaking of which, speaking of C-levels, but in this instance, leaving Mr. Black, an interesting development this week as Jim Ryan announced he is stepping down as the CEO of Sony PlayStation. I can't speak today. Sony PlayStation. So, a little bit out of the blue. I was streaming. I went to go pick up M, and like just as I left, I opened my phone, and Jason Schreier was like, "Bloomberg's reporting that Jim Ryan is set to step down." And I was like, "Word!" And sure as shit, then Sony's own account came out and said, "Yeah, Jimmy Boy, 4 months from now, is going to be gone." And they announced their interim guy that's going to be there while they find the next guy to take over. But that was it. Not much more pomp and circumstance. That was just the announcement, and it seemed a little fucking out of the blue, Mr. Black. So I was thinking about it. I'll get your thoughts on this too. Maybe tell me if you think that what I'm about to say sounds crazy. So Jim Ryan, first of all, has been working at Sony with PlayStation for 30 years. Not as the head of the company, but he's been there for 30 years. So this dude has been part of the launch of every PlayStation since the PlayStation 1. So he's done his service for 3 decades. So he's been there for a hot minute. So he's getting close to retirement anyway, in general. That being said, I have a sneaking suspicion, Mr. Black. We have discovered, for example, that the purchase of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft is basically just going to go through now. That's basically a done deal now. At the same time, Sony also, we had an announcement this week that Sony had another some sort of major hack that we haven't found out just how bad or deep or annoying or terrible this one's going to be. We don't know if this is like another 2011 or 12, where they had to take the PlayStation Network down for fucking like a month or two the last time they had a major leak. So that was going down. And I think, in my mind, I think Jimmy was waking up and going, hey, you know what? And this is many months ago, maybe even last year before. I'm getting close to retirement, but you know what? Right now, we're outselling our competition 3-1. We're fucking on them. This job, there's some stress involved. There's always stress involved at this level of the job, but, in the game industry right now, I'm in a pretty cushy seat. We don't have to do a whole lot, and we're maintaining heavy dominance in this entire sector against our primary competition. So, you know what? I got a couple more years in the tank. Fuck it. I'll stick around. And then we discovered that there's rumors. Microsoft looking to make a big move on Activision Blizzard. That's a big purchase. And Jim's looking back on this going, shit, weren't we just talking about Microsoft buying ZeniMax Studios for like $7 billion not long ago? And now all of a sudden, I don't have the Elder Scrolls or Fallout or anything on my console anymore. Now you're talking about possibly losing Call of Duty too? And all the Blizzard shit, fuck, that would be bad. But you know what? What are the odds that they actually pull that off without somebody shutting that down? Probably not very high, so okay. But you know what? I think Jim was thinking, if it does go through, I maybe got to get out of this bitch and leave on a high note, because I don't know if I want to be, in my 30th year, the guy that's got to head up the company that has to go toe-to-toe with the company that just spent $70 billion to buy out Activision Blizzard after buying ZeniMax Studios. And then the leak happened, and I think Jimmy woke up one day and said, you know what?
Enough.
I'm
That's
out.
It. I made my millions. I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge.
Deuces!
I'm too old for this.
He wasn't even an email. He called somebody. He said, you know what? I'm just done. I'm already packing up my shit right now. I'm in my office. I'm packing shit up. I brought a box with me, U-Haul. I'm out. Find somebody else.
You can't pay me enough. They're probably like, no, Jim, don't go. We'll pay you more. Bitch, I'm already rich. Fuck you. I'm out of here.
I done been here for 30 years. I don't need your money anymore.
30 fucking years. Nah, I'm good. Good luck.
So what do you think? Does that sound plausible to you?
Oh, it's highly likely. It's, because if he was planning to retire, he probably already would have announced that, like, hey, you know,
like 6 months ago or something,
a while ago, been like, hey, you know, nothing crazy, nothing out of the blue, but I've been planning on retiring for this time, you know, blah blah blah. Nah, there's been a bunch of drama going on. He's
right before the holidays season, all this shit.
Yeah, he's probably had enough. He's saying that fuck this, fuck all this, and some.
My man looked at it, said, Tijuana's real nice this time of year.
Yep.
Maybe I'll visit for an extended period of time. But yeah, so he's there for another few months, and then they've got they've got the transition period with the next. I can't think of the guy's name right now. It's escaping me. That's going to be their interim until they find another guy to fill the hole. And I'm very interested in who takes up that. It's not very often that the head of a division like that comes around. It's very infrequent that you get to see something like that happen. So, my hope is they get somebody like their last guy. What was his name? Oh God. Shit. 1 sec. I need to know because his previous head of PlayStation. Not Jim Ryan. Oh my God, it was before Jim Ryan. Sean Layden. So Sean Layden was who came before, and I like Sean because he was a good mix of like businessman, but he was a good face. So he did really good. He was a good face, and he understood the Sony brand with like gamers and keeping that image up. Jim Ryan came in, and he was obviously business savvy, but he was not nearly the front man that they had before, and he did several moves that many people that are big PlayStation fans would say kind of felt like it was eroding the PlayStation brand with a lot of fan groups. And then towards the end, people that really didn't like his thing and we talked about it, where he said, we're going to move the whole fucking thing into like software as a service is going to be a major focus now, and gamers obviously never a fan of hearing software as a service, so he made some moves that people weren't happy with. But you gotta listen, whether it was all him, partially him, or whatever the fuck, you can't deny that the man was there for 30 years, and under his watch, PlayStation is crushing it. They're literally fucking crushing. They are crushing it so hard right now, Mr. Black. I don't have this in my notes, but just remembered it. That they are currently putting on a promotion to give away. I can't remember what game they're giving away with it. I can't remember if they're trying to do like Spider-Man or another first-party game. But they're trying to move PlayStations off shelves because they're within striking distance of moving 25 million PlayStation consoles in a single year or some shit. Or not in a single year. 25 million consoles in a I can't remember what the time period is. But it has never happened in company history before. So they're about to hit all-time shit in a period where they had a not insignificant amount of time they couldn't keep up with supply. And so, you can't, whether you like everything he did or not, you have to admit he got some fucking results out of this bitch. they're doing very, very well. So he's stepping down. We'll have to see who replaces him. Phil already, thanked him for all he did in the industry, because you can't not 30 years in the bitch. Similar to Phil. Phil been around for a long time, work up the company. He understands, what Jim would have done to get to that position. And so, yeah, it was an interesting out of the blue. Same day, a crazy basketball trade. Damian Lillard going to the Bucks. I just about shit myself. And then all of a sudden, Jim Ryan left the company and said, fuck me, there's not enough space on my timeline for both of these things to happen in one day. It's like 2 hours apart. But nevertheless, there you go. So there's another big boy out of the game. We'll see how much longer Phil lasts. Phil's a lot younger than Jim. I think Phil is more like, do like we said last week, do they make it to 2027? Like the leak said?
We'll see.
Do they get that far? Another interesting one, and this is an extension of a topic that we've had in the past, Mr. Black. But now it's getting real interesting, I think, because this is a company that, alongside with PlayStation, is the ones that started the precedent for this new baseline for game cost of $70. So a Capcom exec, I can't remember if it was the head of Capcom or one of the other C-level execs, apparently believes that the recent increase to $70 per game is still not enough. Needs to be more money. Citing that the cost of development has gone up some, and this is uncited, but he said it's gone up some 100 times since the 80s when the video game industry started, and then he points at the number and says we haven't really done much over here, but the cost of video games has gone up 100 times. Nobody's going to dispute that video games cost more to make than they did in the 80s. What might be under dispute is the size of the market that exists now for you to do that, plus the extraordinarily cheaper cost of sending the games to market, because the entire supply chain is a hell of a lot better than it was in the 80s. And that's even before you take into consideration that like 60 to 70% in many regions now are entirely digital. You're not even shipping shit anymore. You are pushing that to a server somewhere, pressing a button, selling video games. And so there is a little bit more to it than just the price has stayed similar to whatever the fuck and it costs more to make games. If that was really the case, we wouldn't be talking about Fortnite making $7 billion a year. Let's just put it that way. It's just this, like, no game was making $7 billion in the 80s, no matter how cheap those games were. Nobody's making $7 billion. Nintendo as a company didn't make $1 billion in the 80s.
No.
So let's just pump the brakes a little bit. Now, that being said, that was his stance. I want to talk a little bit about this. First, I'm just going to ask you before I have my piece. Do you think that knowing, whatever you know, because you're a good person to ask, because you're just more of a closer to an average consumer.
I'm a filthy casual, Adam. Call me it.
Exactly.
It's okay.
How much higher than $70 are you going before you go, okay, this is we're pushing boundaries here. Where for a game, the game as you're getting today, the games that are coming out at launch, whatever the fuck, do you feel like the games that are coming out that we're getting are worthy of more than 80 Canadian dollars plus tax, 93 whatever the fuck dollars as it stands? Or do you think that this, that they should maybe look into why it's getting them so expensive, why it costs them so much money to make these games in the first place, and less about just charging the end user more money?
Yeah, so it's a trick question, man, because on one end, I think mentally I've peaked for the price of games. So like when I go to buy a game, typically now, which is rare, so like once a year, once every 2 years, I'll actually buy a game. If it's right now with tax, it's about $100. So you pretty much it's $100, maybe a little bit more. I think the last game I bought might have been like $102 all in. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So it's right around $100. And I think mentally, that is the 3 digits. That's as far as I go. Now, with that being said, I think also mentally I can make exceptions. So, for example, if Grand Theft Auto comes out, which it will, and they actually, the rumors are true, and this game is $150, or there's a version that's $150. I know, and I'm not just saying this because I play the game for a living and I know I'm going to make money off it anyway, but like, I know with what I'm getting that, and they have a proof of concept. It's not every day Rockstar comes out with a game. You know what you're getting.
And they haven't missed.
And they haven't missed, right?
Ever.
So I think if there's one developer that can come out and say, okay, this game is going to be at an unprecedented $129.99, which is about $150. Canadian, right? Just so people know.
It'd be like $100 US, basically.
$100 US. Okay, we'll say 100 US, because normally right now I think most games are $70, right? $69.99.
That's the new benchmark is $70 US. Yeah.
Okay, so say $100 US. I can make that exception. And I actually think, like, yeah, I might scoff a little bit, be like, God damn, what the fuck? $100? Like, I'm pretty much paying $140 Canadian. That's kind of expensive. But then on the flip side, I go, well, it's Grand Theft Auto. I'm going to get God knows how many hours of play out of this. I know I'm getting a fucking good game. This ain't going to be no bullshit, broken piece of fucking hot ass. This is going to come out and this is going to do its thing. So I can make the exception. But if I got to go out and I got to spend $100 to go buy another Dark Souls game, or I got to go and pay $100 to go buy The Last of Us 3, or I got to go buy $100 to go buy Call of Duty, or $100 to go buy that game I'm going to buy here soon, the horror game,
Alan Wake 2,
right?
Which I hear in previews, by the way, really fucking good.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to play that. And buy that. But
if it was $100,
it's $100. I'm saying no. No. I'll wait until it goes on sale on Steam, and then I'll play it in another 6 months to a year. I'm not gonna do that. So, I think just like how indie games can kind of choose their price point, $9.99, $14.99, $19.99, $39.99. You kind of get this mix mash of price points. I think AAA titles could do the same, but I think there are only select titles that should have that have earned that privilege. Because also, if you start going, hey, Call of Duty, for example, Call of Duty, if they go up to $100 to buy to play a game, that's going to hurt their market, so they won't do it. But I think game like Rockstar or whatever, like there's very few. There's like maybe three companies I can think of that can get away with this. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm being generous. Maybe. Where for me personally, because you're asking me, I don't know. People in the chat, people in the comment section, they can chime in. Because the thing is if you're a not so filthy casual gamer like I am, and that's weird for me to say because I play games for a living, so I'm pretty hardcore. But I'm very like I play one game, right?
Yeah, well, casual from the sense of like how many games you're buying in a year, kind of a deal. Yeah.
Correct. So, for those people that are like actual gamers that like, this is what they do. This is their escape. And they buy 3-4 games a year, maybe sometimes more. I mean, there are people out there, they buy a lot of fucking games at $100 price, at $100 a piece. I mean, dude, it's such a gap that every third game you buy, you're losing out on a game pretty much. So, and then not only that, a lot of these games get really egregious with the amount of transactions and microtransactions and shit they spew at you at the same time. So, to bring it back around, I think personally, the prices of games aren't the problem. I personally think the production is a problem. The amount of shit that these companies are trying to do with their game, for all that razzle dazzle and everything else, and they're pumping all this stuff in here. They'll hire an A-list actor, and they'll probably pay this A-list actor millions of dollars to voice act in a video game, when in reality there are tons of working artists out there that are very capable, that'll cost them 1/100th of what it costs. Now, with that being said, I fully understand that video games as a whole have become increasingly more and more expensive to make, not only just because the world is just getting more expensive, but also the technology has gone. We're just at another level. I mean, you go from the 80s to here, it is two totally different fucking things. But at the same time, man, you only can use that excuse for so long. You got to ask yourself, am I going? It's okay. The best analogy that I can give is in real estate. So, for example, you go out and you buy a house on a block, and that house, say the median house price is $500,000. You go to the street and you buy a house that is $400,000. So you managed to get the house $100,000 under market. Great. But with that, you got to put in some work, because if not, those houses wouldn't be going for that much. So then you go, okay, well, I need a new kitchen, I need new floor, I need new bathrooms, I need to pave my driveway, there's landscaping, yada yada yada. That's going to cost $80,000 to do. And now I'm in for $480,000, but this house could sell for $500K. Great. You made a $20,000 sweat equity in profit, theoretically, and you're good. Now, that should be the way games are made. The problem is you've got some companies out there that want to keep up with the Joneses, and they want to do fucking stupid shit. So they go to the neighborhood and they buy the $500,000 house, and in some cases, which we're seeing a lot now, they buy a $600,000 house on a street that the median price is $500K. Now, if you're willing to pay $600K, you're willing to pay $600K, but it's already upgraded. It already looks nice. It's turnkey. You go in there, you do it. But instead, now you go, you know what? I really wanted a different color scheme here in this kitchen. I wanted a better bathroom that has a bidet in it that comes out from the fucking wall, that cleans my ass, that feels like somebody's giving me a rim job every time I go take a shit. Yeah, it's paved nicely, but, you know, I want to extend the driveway, and then I want to put a shed there in the back, and I want to do all of this fucking shit. Next thing you know you dump in another $150,000. You paid $600,000. Now the house you're in for $750K. Well, you go to try and sell the house, and every fucking person that comes to the house goes, I ain't paying $750K. Yeah, it looks nice. Don't get me wrong. I'll come visit you. I'll use your bidet and get my rim job every fucking day. That's great. The problem is you've managed to put in too much money into a neighborhood that it's not there. You've over renovated this house, and you might enjoy it, and it might look nice, and there might be a couple of people around, or in this case, maybe a couple 100,000 people around that can really love the look of your house. This is really fucking nice looking. This is amazing looking. This is fantastic. These graphics are great. Look at the way the trees move, the grasses, the water looks fantastic. This is wonderful. But on the back end, you got to realize that your return on investment is not there. You're burning money. And I don't have the bookings. I'm not a bookkeeper for these companies, but I can almost guarantee you that there is an unfathomable amount of money that is being wasted on shit that doesn't need to be there. Because at the end of the day, having that bidet, although it's nice, it isn't changing the fact that you can just wipe your ass with toilet paper. You know, having that extra 7 feet of a paved driveway might be nice. You can fit a second car in there, but let's be real. There's no winter ban. You can park your car on the side of the fucking road. You just opted to do it because, well, you want to look cool. You want to fucking do whatever. I have a feeling that this is what's happening in the gaming industry to a degree. And instead of actually taking ownership of what you're really doing and doing a smart investment and not just burning money like fucking crazy, instead, here we are. Now you want to charge the end user more? You want to charge us more because you're being overly, I don't know.
They chose to make this game huge scope, bleeding edge graphics, complicated mechanics that took their programming team a fucking age to actually accomplish and finish in-house. That could have been replaced by something else. You get to the end, you're like, shit, that's a really expensive project. And now it's not, our project management probably could have been better. We probably could have not scoped up so much and got pretty much the same results on the other end. But we bloated, we went crazy with it, and now here we are. And so instead of auditing themselves, they go, fuck it, it's such a weird message, right? They come out and they go, we put all this effort in, and spend all this money because gamers expect this crazy fucking top end, incredible experience. And then that's what I mean. Like, dude, Do we, or is it just because you guys are providing it, and so that's what's out there, and then you use that to say, hey, we should be charging you more money for this, when like the list of games that come out that are even remotely close to worth more than $70 from like a feature complete on day one, mostly, I'm not even saying 100%, mostly bug-free, day one. Complete experience is such an incredibly short list. It's fucking insane.
Oh, it's absolutely ludicrous, dude.
And so to come up with like more money,
it just makes no sense. I think part of it might be people who just have a shit ton of money that they're told to go spend. They go spend it. The other thing is instead of that, why don't you just make a good, competent game and then look at the budget towards the end, and then if you have the money and you want to sprinkle some extra little shit in there to like give it that extra little, attention to detail, go for it. But dude, nobody asked, like you said in Starfield, to put a bunch of fucking sandwiches in a fridge and watch them all fall out or whatever. Nobody gives a flying fuck about that stuff, man. What they want is they want a good, completed, not broken game that they pay for their hard-earned money, and they don't want to feel like they got ripped off in the process. This is the same stupid fucking shit you'll see. If I'm at the gym and I'm working out and I'm getting in shape and I'm feeling good and I'm productive and my energy level's up and I can look myself in the mirror and go, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're not fucking Mr. Olympia over here, all right? I'm not on the Mexican supplements. I'm not fucking eating 17 times a day every hour and 28 minutes and having my fucking body weight and a half in protein, and I'm in the gym fucking 3 hours a day. No, I'm doing my thing. I'm feeling good. People are noticing. This is great. But then you've got some people that go to the gym and they feel like they need to do all this shit just because that's just what we've been programmed to think. And if I want to go and put this shit on social media, I got to get my poses right. I got to do my thing. It's all psychological. The cold, hard truth is, at the end of the day, we just want a very regular, competent game. We don't need all the fluff. If you can give us all that extra shit and the muscles and the fucking everything else, and everything still works, hey, you found the fucking cheat code. Congratulations, you've done it. I got to take this phone call.
Yeah. So I think it's mostly bullshit. I agree with a lot of what Jeff has said with all of his myriad analogies. But like, I talked a little bit about what I have in my notes here for like my thoughts on this. It's just weird. It seems like they're putting the onus on the consumer to make up for it, and not looking inward and being like, okay, yeah, games have gotten more expensive to make, but if we were to charge more money, are we just going to expand even further and constantly like maximize? So like if we go out and we assume that we make like a blockbuster AAA and we market research and we know that we think that we're gonna sell X number of copies and it's gonna be $70 in order to make that much money to be able to justify the project to like get it greenlit to go. Like if we know that the market has now moved to $100 per game instead of $70, is it not what's just going to happen where they just go, okay, well now we're going to like push it even further. We're not going to be efficient to stay in the $70 range, but make the $100 purchase from or $100 spend for the consumer. We're going to push that so like we're going to max out the amount of return we're going to get at the 100 to like push it further and further, because if everyone else in the industry is doing it, we don't, then, problems happen. So at some point, I think you have to kind of look inward and be like, okay, probably like Jeff was saying, how much wastage is going on? I think we know from hearing lots of stories internally that project management can be a bitch in gaming. It's a very complicated thing. There can be a lot of teams involved. Not all of them are in the same place. And a lot of projects get too big, have too many greedy fucking project managers, or they have like producers that are asking too much. Todd Howard walks in the room, we gotta have 16 times the detail. We gotta be able to go to that mountain over there. We need to have every NPC in the game be on a schedule that starts in the morning and goes all the way until nighttime, and they go to bed, they wake up, they go to work. The whole 9 yards. For what? Why? I don't know, personally. It doesn't seem like, I asked this in my stream yesterday. I was playing Starfield. Like at least in Elder Scrolls, I recognized occasionally, I was like, oh, there's, NPCs going about their day or whatever, because it seemed to just be utilized in some way, whether it was through quests or otherwise. In Starfield, like, it's not used really ever, and because everything happens on multiple different planets and they all seem like their own little like microcosm of a fucking a theme park, you don't even notice that shit. But it's like all this overhead, and part of the reason why your game runs at like friggin' 40 FPS on a beast of a rig, because unfortunately they're trying to keep track of like every fucking NPC and every item that they have and every item around you and every item around them, and fucking just becomes all this bloat. And then of course it takes time and energy to program that and make sure that it all works well and that it doesn't have very many bugs, etc., etc. And then you just like, what do you really need that? Do players really need that? Does it, can you accomplish your end goal there of making the world feel lived in without needing to go that far? What can be done about this? Do we really need to spend this much money to accomplish our goals? I would assume most of the time, no. And so I think that's probably most of the problem. Now, here's the other thing that I dug up in the midst of all of this, is that... well, I don't know if I should keep going until Jeff gets back so that he hears this, because he might find this kind of humorous. But just like with Epic Games, I decided to go and take a look at Capcom's profit, not revenue, but profit. Because if he's going to sit back and say, "Oh, well, games cost, they cost too much money to make now. We can't afford to," and he also said, games cost too much money, money, it's like 100 times what they were in the 80s. We've got to pay more competitive wages to be able to attract better industry talent in order to keep all this up, etc., etc., etc. It just costs too much money, and $70 isn't enough. So I went and took a little peek-see. I wonder how Capcom's doing. And as it turns out, Capcom has had their profit margins rise every single year since 2017. They haven't missed a beat. Every single year, the profit margin has gone up, meaning that the difference between their revenue and their after-tax and every other dollar has been spent. The remaining dollars, their profit margin, has gone up every single year. And in fact, it didn't just go up, and it isn't just that they're doing well in that regard. They're doing really fucking well, comparatively speaking. So, for example, in 2022, their trailing 12-month readout was 34%. Now, if you don't know, if you don't know what that really means, okay. So, typically speaking, if a profit margin for a company is around 10%, you see that as more like they're breaking even. They hit 20%, that's considered a good profitable company. In fact, a comparison point for that is actually Activision Blizzard, who sits around a 20% profit margin. They float that more or less on average for many years now. But for Capcom, they're at 34%, which is mammoth. Incredibly profitable, huge turnarounds for their margin, just insane. And so I thought, okay, well, they're clearly making money, and they're not spending too much, so I don't know what he's going on about. But I wonder how much they're paying their talent. He talks about having to pay more money for their talent. Got to be able to keep up, with the rest of the industry, and so you got to be able to hire good, competent workers, and that costs more and more money over time. So I looked into that, and as it turns out, they pay basically the same as Activision Blizzard. So in general, while Capcom isn't making as much money as Activision Blizzard, they are proportionately making more than Activision Blizzard and are a more efficient company. And yet he is the one standing back going, you know what, 34% ain't good enough. I don't know what he's shooting for, 50? 60? You want to double his profit? The profit margin to 60%? I don't know what it is that he's getting at. I find it completely disingenuous, for him to be saying this shit. And I do think that a lot of it is just that the industry has scoped up too much. They've gotten bloated. What they chase after is too bloated. Think about how many games or subgenres have converted themselves into open world games, including things like Assassin's Creed. And then think about how much of those games are just incredibly bloated content that has almost no meaning. Just collectathons. In like the worst possible sense. It's not like, and it costs all this money to be able to make that happen. Like, well, like if you told me that you could take the more recent Assassin's Creed games and open the map if I didn't have a seizure looking at all the icons on it first, if you told me that I could reduce all those icons down, the frivolous bullshit down, by like 35-40%, and then pay $10 less on the end cost of the game, I'm taking that deal every time. Like, I don't need 1,500 feathers to collect the fuck. Why? Nobody really needs that shit. At best, at that point, they're just doing it for the vibe, but nobody's calculating that into the value of the fucking game. You could vibe in the game without feathers. Just randomly fucking run around the map and just, look at every corner that you can find. Look for every liminal space imaginable. You don't need incentive to do that, and if you do, then maybe consider whether you're playing the right game at that point. So that's just something to consider. I think it's nonsense. I think $70 is fine. I appreciate that it's become more expensive, but I also don't, if I'm looking at the industry at large, generally speaking, the companies that are producing, more often than not, the companies that are producing good quality games every time they release them are making great profit. And even the ones that aren't are making great profit. And many companies continue to go up. So, and unless they come out and like they start dropping and they're dropping it because they're not making any profit, then somebody coming out and saying we need to charge more money doesn't make any sense to me. So I just so that you Mr. Black, just some fun bits here just to recap for you. So the fun thing about Capcom's exec coming out and saying this is I looked into it just like I did with the Activision Blizzard thing. As it turns out, or not Activision Blizzard, sorry, Epic Games. As it turns out, in 2022, their trailing 12-month period for profit margin, so after tax, after everything, 34%.
So what is it? What's
34%?
So just go.
Do you know a little bit about business? How many businesses are lucky to have a 34% profit margin?
1%. 1%. That's called the 1%ers.
Yeah, want to take a guess?
Maybe we should start charging more for our games. Fuck a 30%, we could get 60.
That's exactly what I said. Double the profit margin to 60%.
I sat here and I made all these analogies, and I'm going through all this stuff thinking that these guys are hurting. And in reality, they're not even hurting, and they're still going overboard and getting stupid. Imagine if they start cutting some of these stupid things that we spoke about. Their profit margins would go from 30% to 38, 40%.
Yeah. Oh, easily.
Try me a fucking river.
Easily.
Fucking
do you know how much Activision Blizzard's profit margin is? 20-ish. So yeah, Capcom is like 30% higher profit margin than Activision Blizzard that's being sold for... I mean, their volume is obviously higher, but just an insane amount of money. And so the efficiency is crazy at Capcom, and he's the one coming out going, yeah, you know what? Like, maybe we should get more than $70 for our games. For what? And the other point I made, and I wonder what your take is on this, like, now what is the logic here? So right now they cost $70, right? And so when you make a game or you get a game greenlit, you go out and you say, okay, market research, how many, is it a known IP? Let's assume yes. Because how many games are like fucking new IPs now? Not very many. So let's say they're going to make a game that's from an IP that people know, and it's coming from a certain publisher developer. So they go and they say, this is the assumed volume of games we're going to be able to sell if we make this, and it is good, not shit. This is how many we can imagine we're going to sell. This is roughly the amount of revenue that's going to produce, which means this is the budget for the game that we're asking for, yay or nay, and then they greenlight it.
Yeah.
That's based on $70 right now for some of these AAA games. So they're maxing out $70. So what happens if you go to $100? Are they going to stay at the $70 mark? Or when they go to ask for their budget because people get paid more money at that point, when they go to ask for the budget, they go, all right, so we want, it's going to sell for $100, but we're going to keep the budget for $70.
You already know the answer to this, Adam. You already know the answer. It's corporate greed, man. You already know the answer.
And so they're just, the bloat's going to get worse. The games aren't going to get better, but they're going to charge more. And what are they going to do? They're going to come out and they say, guys,
Yeah.
$100 ain't enough out here.
It's expensive making these games, guys. This 30%
Do you know
profit
how
margins.
much?
Do you understand how tough it is to get this 30%?
And like, at what point do you stand back as a consumer? And I think this is some of the hurdle for me. If I was buying more games, off the shelf, I go in, I go, okay, I bought this console. And this is another point that I didn't make yet. I didn't mention this. So I said in my notes, it's also interesting a comparison to look at the hardware versus software goals. So hardware developers, so Microsoft making Xbox, Sony making PlayStation, when they come out with a new console, what do they tend to do? They try to do the absolute peak of the fucking market for performance that they can at a amount of money they can hope to sell this thing for, even if it's going to be at a loss, which is typically as low as they can go, so that they can get close to matching their competition or what they assume the competition is going to be. That doesn't happen in the software side. No. They're just going, fuck it. We have more. Give us more money. See, good comparison. Xbox 360 launched in 2005 for an adjusted $525 US. You want to know how much the Series X came out for? $499.
Yep.
You ain't hear Microsoft, you don't hear Phil Spencer come out and be like, guys, you just don't get it. We gotta charge $799 for this console, or you're never getting a console again. It just can't be done. It's impossible.
Bro,
can't be done.
Capcom can go fuck right off, dude. Straight up, man. They can just go fuck right off, dude.
Crazy.
What do they got these days? They got Resident Evil.
Well, Capcom has a number of really good games where they're actually popping off, and that's why the profit margin's so high, because they're going back into the well. Oh, that's right.
They got Monster Hunter and all this other shit. Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, well, fuck Capcom anyway, man. I don't know. Fuck them. Although I do fucks with the Resident Evil games.
Of course, like nobody's complaining about their games, but it's just like you got 34% profit margin, and then he said, and the other thing he said when you were gone, I mentioned, he said, well, we got to pay more, we got to pay people more money to be competitive, to hire talent. You know what? I looked that bitch up, Jeff, and they pay the same as Activision Blizzard already, so they ain't got to worry about shit. Go.
Fuck right off. Boo-hoo. And if you got to go from 30% down to 25%, cry me a fucking goddamn river. Just cry it.
And that was in 2021, 2022.
Yeah. I only made $5 billion. I guess, if I got to lose out on $500 million more, whoop-de-fuck.
Man, come on. Crazy. Shout out to Nitchwich for that $10 US little super chat.
Thank you, sir.
Six more of those, and I'll think about buying a game.
There you go.
And then won't, because I got it on Game Pass. That's why I'm going to spend my time on Game Pass. Shout out to Game Pass, getting me hooked up, because I ain't spending all this money on these games. The games are out here. You can buy 4 games. It's as expensive as the console. That's the crazy part. Like, you get four games and you've bought the whole console over again. What the fuck is going on out here? Calm down.
It's crazy. I'm old and jaded, bro. Ain't nobody got time to be spending $100 to play dog shit games. I'm sorry. That's why I'm very selective with what I buy.
Oh yeah.
I'm very selective.
Oh, for sure. We gotta bring back gaming magazines and shit, and get more people reading reviews and stuff, so that they can spend their money wisely, because shit's gone crazy out here now.
It's gone nuts.
Fucking crazy. Let me see. I already went over that and that. We just did it in a different order. Oh, SAG-AFTRA received over 98% approval for a strike for video game industry workers, should the bargaining happening the 26th through 28th, which is today, not be successful. So they preemptively, before going into bargaining for their new contracts, they put out the call to see what the vote percent would be to go on strike if things don't go their way. That's an overwhelming majority, 98+% on that return, and so we will see what go. I mean, that's another. It's a bargaining chip for them to go to the table with. Like, look, we already have the green light to strike if this ain't going to go well, and we aren't going to get looked at in the same way as the film industry for AI and our other contracts and whatnot that's all going on. And so we'll wait and see how that all comes together. But that is a piece, and we'll talk about the film side of that a little bit in the next part of the podcast. Counter-Strike 2 officially landed. It was just yesterday, and admitted immediately stress the network, as you might imagine. That shit dropped and everyone tried to play it simultaneously and fucking shit was blowing up and it was all over the place, but they stabilized it. And it got up to, I think, a little over 1 million concurrent players right off the rip. It's a big number. But then I looked into it and I was like, man, how does that compare to like other games, you know, the big releases on Steam? And as it turns out, the all-time record is still held by PUBG after all this time.
Yeah, but it's two totally different types of games, right? PUBG is like on mobile. It's on fucking...
No, this is just on Steam.
Oh, just on
This
Steam.
is just Steam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No,
I didn't
this is
think
only
PUBG
Steam.
was popping like that, man. What the fuck?
Well, this was back when it was 2017. Dude, PUBG ran the world. I think some people forget just how fucking off PUBG was and how much it was running the game. It ran Twitch, it ran Steam, it ran everything.
That's true, it did. Yeah, it did for a while.
And so it hit 3.25 million at its peak concurrent on Steam alone.
Competition was also drastically less in 2016, 2017. There was not like
I mean, I guess, but number 2 is CS:GO at 1.8. It almost doubled the second place, and it's CS:GO at number 2. So competition or not, that is it's a lot. Such a fucking gap. That is so many people. Like no game has had that many concurrent, like in one go, like that I can think of on any singular platform. I actually don't know. Like how many games are on a list that have hit anywhere near that. I just put that there to just highlight. I just want to be like, hey, PUBG Corp, you fucked it. Yeah, you won on the mobile side. Like you're making your money on mobile, but you fucked it. I mean, if you got 3.25 million concurrent and you managed to torch your game on PC, bro, the money lost. Epic. Because look at how much money like CSGO makes. They already made, what was the number? $40 million in crates on day one.
Yeah, but that's all. It's just gambling, right? It's just fuck. That's
yeah, everyone's out here just gambling. Bro, you can gamble on whether Kelsey and Taylor Swift are still going to be a couple by the end of the NFL season. They got splits on that shit. Society has fallen.
You want to know? I actually I was meaning to put this on Twitter there like yesterday or the day before yesterday. I truly, and listen, if somebody gets offended by what I'm about to say, I'm going to be honest. I don't care. Be offended. All right. I really don't.
A rare Jeff tweet, by the way. So this has to be something. A rare Jeff tweet.
I've been seeing so much Taylor Swift on my social media, and I don't follow anything Taylor Swift related. Instagram, Twitter, fucking Facebook. No matter what social media platform I'm on, I see this. And I'm going to go out and say this on the record right now. That if you're one of these Taylor Swift fans, you're cringe as fuck. Straight up.
You mean like the hyper fans, like the Swifties?
Yes, you are cringy as all fuck. I'm going to be honest. I don't know a single Taylor Swift song. Okay? But now, since I have been seeing this shit so much that I'm listening to these clips, and I'm telling you, this music is so fucking bad that it hurts every bone in my body. The lyrics are so cringy and so shit. I cannot wrap my head around the phenomenon that is Taylor Swift. I actually cannot wrap my head around it. I can wrap my head around like an Adele. I can wrap my head around like a fucking fucking Jay-Z or a Kanye West or a fucking U2 or U2. I'm just going wherever because well, U2 is like sort of, you know, the U2 is
I just didn't expect that to be the band come out of your mouth. Like you went from Jay-Z and Kanye to U2.
Well, I thought I'd go to a different genre at least. Like fucking I can see it, but Taylor Swift, and like I get it. If you're a 14-year-old teenage girl, this Mike says she's hot, Jeff. That's dude. spoiler alert, she ain't hot. She is as mid as they come.
Ouch! Wow. Okay, let's slow down. I wouldn't say that she's like a. You calling this woman a 5?
A 6?
You can't even give Taylor Swift an 8, bro.
There's not a chance in.
Really?
Are you serious?
I mean, I'm not all about. I'm not like attracted to her that way, but I can't place her below. Like I can't put her below a 7. That's for sure.
Nah, bro. I mean, listen. I'm not out here trying to rank girls. Okay, because we're already in 2023. Somebody get mad at me,
bro. I'm a soft 3, and I'm not talking about my dick. I don't give a fuck about rating girls. Okay, bro, Taylor Swift. I can't put her below a 7 personally, but I like everyone's got taste.
All right. Hey, listen. If you say it's a 7, if you say she's a 7, then okay, I respect that. Okay, I'm not saying she's fucking ugly as shit, but I'm just reacting to what somebody said in the chat. But she's hot, Jeff. I don't see it. It's not my cup of tea. All right, and I like white girls. Okay, she ain't it for me. All right, and it's not because I dislike her music. When I see Taylor Swift, I don't think like, wow, she is gorgeous. Right? I just don't. It's just not. It's just, and that doesn't have anything to do with her talent or whatnot. But that's just not one of the reasons why I think she's super famous. I think that she connects with these young teeny boppy girls. But I think what's cringe, and that makes sense. But what I think is cringe is these grown ass fucking men and women out here. I'm seeing clips of the dude. She's in these concerts filling these fucking like 70,000 people stadiums.
Bro,
and
she's famous.
Oh, she's super, like, dude, she's like Beatles famous.
She's beyond Beyonce now. Like, she's in her own.
Oh, yes, she is.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, she is. And that's Beyonce. You want to talk about a 10, okay? They ain't even on the same, these chicks ain't even on the same Richter scale, all right? Not only in terms of talent, I mean, Jesus H. Christ. And I'm not saying Taylor Swift can't sing. I'm sure she can. She's got vocals, but her teeny boppy shit music, dude. I wanted to go on a rant the other day, and you set me up for it today. I don't even know how we got onto this shit. I don't even know. I don't get it, bro. I am watching. He says somebody in chat said Beyonce's a 5 at best. Listen, it's all relative. Okay. It's all relative.
I also would not put Beyonce at a 5, just to put that out there. I think that shit's crazy as fuck too. But I put Beyonce.
Beyonce anything lower than an 8, you crazy as hell.
I think they're both 7 for me. They're both 7 for me. They're both 7 for different reasons.
Okay, so just so I know.
Yeah.
Guy to guy here. Nobody else is listening.
No, literally, this podcast is tiny. No.
All right. Yeah, literally nobody else is listening.
Just me and you.
If you walked into a room.
Yes.
And you could go on a date.
Okay.
And there's Taylor Swift.
Okay.
And there's Beyonce Knowles.
And it's just based on visual only. I have no other.
It's just visuals. I mean, we're just talking about looks. No talent, nothing. Who gives a fuck about any of that? We're just talking straight looks because you're putting them both on the same level here. You're saying they both 7s.
Yeah,
right?
for different. I mean, they couldn't be. I mean, I don't mean just race, but they couldn't visually be any different. They're like 2 totally different like body types of the whole 9 yards. Yeah,
I get it. I'm just curious. Are you going? Are you going for some T-Swizzy action? Or are you going for the Queen Bee? Where are you going, Adam? Be honest.
I gotta honestly, because and I'm not trying to like, you know me, I rarely sit on the fence for fucking anything. If I walked in the room both there, I think they're both pretty, but neither of them are my type. So I'm not.
You have to choose. Somebody get a gun to your head and say,
okay,
Adam,
I have to
date one of these chicks.
Okay.
Which one do you want, Adam? Which one? Pick.
Probably Taylor, because I'm not into black chicks.
Oh, fair.
There's lots of black women I find are gorgeous, but they've never been like I am white.
I'm not a black chick either. I'm not into that. But
white,
Beyonce.
Asian, Latino territory. I've never, for whatever reason, I can find them incredibly attractive, incredibly beautiful, but they've never been like I can say they're beautiful because I believe that, but it's not like I'm not attracted.
Listen, I don't think for a second Taylor Swift is ugly. I'm not saying that. All right. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not attracted to her in the least. And the only reason why I even brought that up was because somebody mentioned because she's hot. And the first thing that I see with Taylor Swift is not like she's hot. I see like somebody like Selena Gomez. She's hot.
She's also everywhere right now. You can't avoid her either.
Yes, but like if somebody's like, well, she's hot, Jeff, I'd be like, okay, yeah, well, she kind of is. Anyway. All right.
Selena Gomez is crazy hot. Like on the crazy hot scale, like you're getting some crazy shit.
Yes.
Like
okay.
I like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But I mean, I look at Taylor's. Okay, and once again, I get the 14-year-old stuff. It's the adults. I'm seeing so much adults, male and female.
Yeah.
Worshiping Taylor Swift. And I'm like,
sure.
dude, it is cringy as fuck. She is making teeny boppy music about breaking up with her 80th boyfriend over thing. People are betting on the fact that she ain't going to be staying with this, football guy or basketball guy. I don't know who the fuck. Football guy who was also dating some black chick before. And
he cheated on her apparently.
I mean, dude, they're all come on. But maybe that's why T Swizzle wants to get with him, knowing that he's going to cheat, and then she can make another fucking
easy money.
Just easy fucking money. So anyway, I digress, okay? Listen, if you like Taylor Swift, you like Taylor Swift, but you can't tell me when I see a clip on Instagram of grown men and women screaming out lyrics about breakups, and it's, dude, the vocals, I'm not going to lie, her vocals live, they are some of the most basic fucking, and it ain't, I just don't
she's not like, okay, so like Taylor Swift is like, when you think of pop star, that like Taylor Swift is a pop star, right?
Oh, she is.
So there have not been there have been people that were, like, let's say Lady Gaga, jazz singer that converted to pop music because she makes money making pop music and not money making jazz music, right? She made hundreds of millions of fucking dollars or whatever, and then went and did her Christmas album with fucking what's his face because Tony Bennett, because she could at that point, but right, okay. Then there are people that were just pop stars. Like they were never more than a pop star. Britney Spears is a great example
Christina Aguilera.
A pop star. Christina can sing.
She can sing really fucking good. Really fucking good.
Britney cannot. She can sing, but it's not
Britney's
Christina
Taylor
Aguilera. Yes.
Without
and that is similar.
Swift.
Yeah. So like, because they can sing now, I could probably listen to a Taylor Swift singing for longer than Britney, because Britney's nasally as fuck. Like Britney.
I can't listen to T Swift.
I'm Britney, bitch. I can only listen to like so much of it. Like I can listen to like, a couple of her songs, but anyway. So what I will say is she's a pop star. She's very smart. She went from country music to pop music, so she was successful with that. Taylor Swift. She started country.
She started country?
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. She started country, moved into pop. And was successful at both, was huge country star, now huge pop star, biggest pop star on the planet, basically bar none.
Oh yeah.
By miles.
Good for her. I mean, good.
She's crushing it. She can sing, but she's not Beyonce in terms of vocal talent. But her music, the one thing, like any good pop star, what can you always say about pop musicians that last forever? Their production is better than everyone else's. So like her music, even if you don't like it, if you listen to it and you appreciate music in general, you understand that from a pop music perspective, it's produced really well. And what gets people to listen to music over and over on the fucking radio? Usually well-produced music. It's like 4/4 time, the same fucking, upbeat, downbeat bullshit. Very, like, rarely does something break out of that mold. And if you hit something like good-looking white chick that used to be country star doing well-produced music, 5'10", red lip, blonde hair, she's gonna sell a bunch of shit, and her PR has been fucking ridiculous for years, bro. Like, they've got that shit. She is managed like the stereotype from a movie of a pop star. Like, that's Taylor Swift, like stereotypical shit. And now she's out here, like you said. Dude, her Era Tour is selling out in theater rooms. They're paying money to see the Era Tour on a screen in the theater.
Yeah, I saw people on the streets.
Yes.
Listening to the stadium in the background. And we're talking, there are thousands of people crying and losing their minds. And I'm going, what in the actual fuck? Like,
one of her concerts registered on the Richter scale. It caused an earthquake.
I believe it. I can see that type of shit for like a Michael Jackson or a Prince or like a Beatles or an Elvis, right? Like some cultural fucking like,
but you know
holy
what?
shit.
She ain't our culture, but you know what? When you're global like she is culture, Jeff.
Oh,
I know that doesn't, but like when we were kids, imagine our parents,
I get it.
Listening to us, listening to the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, but even them, they weren't even on this level, man. They're big, but like they're not on this level. I mean, holy shit.
Taylor's leveraged social media and the new media so like, dude, if Backstreet Boys wrote today, I mean, look at One Direction if One Direction came out, if the music was still popular and One Direction came out 5 years later, they'd be even bigger than they were. And One Direction was fucking, they were like the girls fainting and shit, like they were doing that bullshit, right? Jonas Brothers.
I'm old, man. What I'm trying to get at is I don't get it. That's all I'm trying to get at. If you like Taylor Swift and you're a teenage girl, I get it. I'm not hating on you at all. But if you my age and you out here crying at a Taylor Swift concert, it's cringe. That's what I'm saying. It's cringy.
Hey, listen, I respect the dads taking their daughters to the concerts and getting excited with the daughter. You gotta do that. You gotta do that shit.
Yeah, but these aren't dads with their daughters, bro. These are full-blown. These are full-blown.
It's the same people, right? It's the same people that they get hyped for like their actresses and actors, and they stand. They're fucking like they stand. They're stands in general. Like their life is around celebrity. And so and with music they get attached to that shit, and she's just like the hyper fucking fixation for a lot of people. But like between her, it's true. Like my timeline's like nothing. I mean, and it's so funny, dude. The amount of sway that she has with like the influence. Dude, she went out and said, and she told her fans, like 18 and older, go vote. And it actually increased dramatically the 18-year-old voting immediately following her saying that shit.
Like, yeah, go vote for Biden.
And then she
and
also...
you know what they'll do?
Go vote. Of course. Of course. And then there was like, and then with Kelsey, like just the football, the one day she had like went to one game. One game. His jersey sale went up 400%. She went to one game. She is famous, bro.
She's super famous, bro.
She is.
I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm a little bit of a hater, but I'm not trying to be like, I'm only hating on this aura because I just don't understand it. I just can't. I still, even though we're talking about it and I get it, I still don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I just don't get it. Because I'm not hearing the vocals. And I'm not seeing like the beauty. Don't get me wrong. She's a good look. Maybe I was getting a little bit. She's not a bad.
I mean, Michael Jackson was a -4, so we can't. Maybe the looks don't always factor in.
I mean, he was a good looking guy. Until
for 7 years.
Dude, from like age. Dude, that guy was a stud from age 6 to. I mean, he was a cute little kid all the way up.
Nobody's looking at a 6-year-old going, "You're a stud." I'm talking about when he was an adult.
Yes, but I mean, as a young adult, right? Because he's been in the spotlight from the age of like 6.
Oh yeah, I know, I get it.
Till 50, like when he was when he got fucking
shit got real.
When shit got real, he had like a solid he was
teenage
early 20s. He was a good looking dude until shit went sideways.
Absolutely.
But the thing is with Michael, it's not even just about looks.
No,
right?
I know. Like, Michael, unbelievably talented. Yes.
Michael ended up looking like a fucking wet rat, towards the end of it, right?
Yes.
But still, his music, his talent was like it didn't matter what you look like. Who gives a flying fuck, right? It's just like this guy is changing the world. I look at Taylor Swift. And I don't get she's not so drop dead gorgeous that I'm like, oh my God. I see it because like her singing talents aren't there. Maybe it's the beauty, right? I don't see that. Maybe some people do. I'm sure there's millions that do because she's not a bad looking chick. But I'm talking about this beautiful aura where it's just like, oh my God. And then I hear the music and I'm going, well, she sure as shit ain't like got the talent to be this crazy iconic, like,
you know what though, sometimes it takes the talent isn't necessarily the one that is talent from like the traditional perspective of like you're hearing the singing. Sometimes the talent is knowing your audience and knowing what to write. And you can't deny that she's been prolific as fuck. She has cranked out music, and she writes her own shit. Nobody writes for her. So
but it's
she
garbage. Then you're acting like that. I should give her a pat on the back. Her lyrics are shit.
Well,
like,
if your goal is to reach as many people as possible and have them love your music, you have to be able to. Right? I mean, look at it this way. Look at the rap game right now. How much rap that's out there right now is garbage.
Really
but you know what else? Bad. They're selling like fucking crazy.
But they ain't Taylor Swift.
No.
Drake's not even Taylor Swift. And that guy's fucking as big as they come. He ain't even on Taylor Swift's level.
But you know what I mean? Like when it comes to like, when you come to like rating the music, right?
It's on it. If I had to rate her music, it's a 2. It's an actual 2.
Oh my God, a 2?
Oh, that's being generous. Like it's a 2.
Oh,
it's really truly bad. It's not good. It's not good. Like fundamentally, her beats are there, fine. She can make a catchy pop song, fine. Still not as good as like a Lady Gaga, a Sia, a fucking Adele. I mean, that is real music writing. There's real ballads. Real good. Even the pop stuff is like some real good shit. Taylor Swift is like, I'm gonna be single forever. Hoo-ha! I am so cool. Why did you break my heart? And you're a fucking fool now. That's what it is. It's so basic that I can't conceptualize.
And it sells like crazy.
Oh my God, it's so
bad. And, it's not, I'm going to swing from the chandelier, ain't passing through her fucking lips, but you know what is?
Oh.
Expensive caviar and dreams, because he's making money.
That is true. It
More
works.
money than God, bro.
It works. Good on her. I don't know how we got here, but we got here.
We got here. And you know what? I gotta be honest. If she keeps this up, she's had the aid of social media era to like spread throughout the world that like somebody like Michael didn't have that. Obviously, different era. But she's getting Michael famous here real quick. Like she's approaching it.
Oh, you can't even put them in the two. You literally can't put Michael Jackson and Taylor Swift in the same sentence.
I'm not saying. Listen to me very carefully. I'm not even trying to equate.
Michael Jackson's worldwide, though.
So is
worldwide,
she.
not like Michael. Not like Michael. Not like dude. I don't think. I don't think you understand.
Oh, no, I understand.
I know I'm a few years older than you, but like Michael Jackson.
Neither one of us is in the actual like peak Michael Jackson era like age bracket here. Let's be real. First of all, like you were born the year that he was coming out of like the peak of Michael Jackson. So neither of us are really even like breastfeeding during that time. But listen, from a fame perspective, notoriety globally because of social media and because of the people that like her music resonates with. She is approaching that shit, and it hurts. It hurts.
Oh, it's painful.
Like if Michael had social media, if he would have like survived on social media, I don't know if he would have because like he was like he would have probably never had social media, but I don't know if he would have survived this era. It's kind of like I don't think mentally he could have fucking taken that shit. Because look what they did without social media. Imagine with social media, Michael would have been fucking like in a hole.
But isn't that crazy? Is look what he accomplished without
Yes,
social
exactly.
media.
That's what's so insane about it, right?
Nuts.
And same with stuff like
even
the Beatles,
right?
Like the Beatles, right?
Same thing, right?
But exactly. Like it's a different comparison. But like the end result. As much as you don't want, as much as we don't want to sit here and say it.
Okay, maybe fame.
Obviously not talent. Come on. I'm not saying she's as talented.
Yeah.
And she's not going to say that in a million years. She'd be like, are you high? Are you serious? Michael Jackson is God.
I don't think there's an artist in the world that'll say that. I really don't.
No, because they can't.
It's Michael Jackson.
Like, how are you supposed to? Like, seriously, like, how?
Yeah, but like when people would faint and like die at Michael Jackson concerts because they're so damn, probably not die, but like faint and go nuts. You understood that, right? Like that's Michael Jackson right there. Holy fuck, that's Michael. That's Michael. People are like, that's Taylor Swift. Half of it's lip singing. Choreography's bad. It's like and when there's actual singing going on, it's like it ain't good, man. It ain't good. But hey, it's what they like. It's what the world likes.
Good news is though, Usher is the headline for the Super Bowl.
Thank fuck. See, he can sing. He can dance.
Bro,
he can write.
Do you ever listen to the Tiny Desk stuff on YouTube?
Oh, it's amazing.
Did you see Usher's Tiny Desk?
Killed it.
Jesus Christ.
Murdered it.
Are you serious?
Murdered it. I mean, that's the same place that people realize T-Pain can sing. And I've been telling people this the whole time. We're like, yo.
Same rate, bro. He told people ages ago.
Auto-tune don't make you sing good.
He was an R&B singer.
Yeah. It doesn't give you good vocals. You have to know how to sing. It just gives you this effect, and it keeps you in pitch. It
can cover up a multitude of sins. Like, let's be real. Like, you can.
Oh, for sure. It makes it so that you don't have to be a technical good singer. Yes. But, like, you still have to sing. Like, you still have to understand.
And he turned that shit up for the effect specifically.
It was an aesthetically. It was just. It was an
aesthetic. It was an aesthetic.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was a choice, right? It's what made him famous. But yeah, no, I don't know how we got there, guys. I'm sorry. And you know what? I'm sorry.
Jeff's on one for Taylor Swift
because I was literally gonna put the tweet out the other day, and I was like, I don't understand this Taylor Swift phenomenon. I don't think she's particularly talented. What's going on here?
Listen, we both agree on one thing. Selena Gomez is in her fucking like mommy milker era. That shit's crazy, bro. That red dress she had on that's on social media every fucking second friggin' Tuesday.
Selena Gomez.
And again, it's the hot crazy scale. Like, she's clearly insane. I guarantee you, she's crazy. She's crazy. She ain't be holding down a boyfriend. She put out that like Instagram post where she was like, "Guess who's single?"
Uh-oh.
Me. You're like, nah,
yeah.
nope.
Imagine her and Taylor Swift is crazy too. I mean, just imagine.
Different kind of crazy.
It's definitely a different kind of crazy for sure.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez gives me sort of like batshit crazy.
Yes.
Taylor Swift gives me like
workaholic
diva crazy.
Diva. Yeah.
Like diva. Like, you know.
Not a Karen, but a diva.
Not a Karen, but a diva. Oh yeah. Definitely gives me those vibes. Yeah. This dude that's dating her right now is gonna understand, and I'm sure he does. I mean, he's gonna dip into it,
bro. He's
gonna realize that this is just temporary, bro.
His jersey sales went up 400% in a single day. This man is milking it.
He's cashing in. You're gonna have so many people hate on this dude because he's dating Taylor Swift, right? And he cheated on his last girl. You're gonna be hating on this dude, but he also got to understand that at the end of all this, he's going to have a series of songs that are going to be all dedicated to him. And then all those T-Swift fangirls and fanboys out there, they're going to make his life living fucking hell. On social media, in person, I mean, bro, he ain't going to be able to go it. A gamble, and it's a gamble you're losing. There's no way in fuck this dude's going to fall in love with this girl and marry her and have children and fucking that'll be the end. There's a 0%. If there was a betting line that I could bet on right now, I would remortgage this house. And I would put it all on that bitch. And I'd be like, listen, these guys are breaking up. There ain't no fucking way. There's not a chance in hell, man. That guy shot his shot, bro. He shot his shot. And she said, you know what? Yeah, fuck it.
And she showed up at the game that his team won 70-20, bro.
Oh, man. Yeah, his 400% jersey. It's going to turn into 1,000%. It's going to turn into 5,000%. And then he's going to be the most hated man on the planet, bro. You want to, okay, before I mean, fuck the gaming news at this point. It's over.
Well, there's nothing left anyway. Oh, there's one small one, but it's not a talking point. It's just a meme. It's just a meme.
Okay, here, you want to know who's got the ultimate Riz. And who I can't understand.
Pete Davidson?
But now, yeah, that guy.
Bro, what are you, a court?
Dude,
that guy's got a 10-inch dick, 100%.
That motherfucker.
That dude's playing baseball whenever he takes his pants off.
Dude, that guy has got I'm just calling him Riz Davidson. I mean, this guy, he's funny. He ain't a good-looking dude.
No, but he's got some money.
And he's got a black fucking dong.
Huge dick.
And he is going around, and he is fucking these girls so good.
All these girls are going, hey, you got to get some of this Pete Davidson dick.
Oh, bro.
That's the only explanation.
It's obvious. It's obvious, dude. These supermodels are calling up their supermodel hot fucking super famous girls. They're like, listen, this is gonna sound crazy, but Pete
Girl,
Davidson,
my toes curled in backwards. That shit was fucking crazy. I blacked out for 5 minutes. I woke up.
Oh, dude, there is no other explanation. Because there are tons of funny dudes that got money.
Oh yeah.
But this guy is dicking so good that like
it's not just that he's got a 10-inch dick, guaranteed. It's that he obviously knows what he's doing on top of that shit too.
Oh, you got it. I mean, listen, you can have you can be a horse dick and
not
all
know
around,
what
but you don't know what you're doing.
No.
Ain't nobody got time for that, right?
No.
But this motherfucker,
religious experience.
There is a lineup for Pete Davidson's dick. And we're talking premium,
Premium.
I mean, I can't wrap my head around
Tens, bro. Tens.
Every week I see this motherfucker bagging the best of the best out there.
People
like,
talking
man.
about Leonardo DiCaprio, okay?
Oh, dude, come on. Leo, you ain't got shit. And also, what the girls are saying about Leo is
he's bad in bed.
He's bad in bed, and he's got a small dick. And no,
it ain't been hurting him.
No, he's Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, for fuck's sakes. I mean, who gives a shit? Pete Davidson? This motherfucker, man. I mean, dude, you know the guy is so confident that he is begging all of these chicks. Like, I'm not talking about on his knees begging. I'm talking about in the bag. He's getting inside them.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been through basketball players, football players.
Yeah.
I mean, black dudes that you know got mandingo dicks, sex tape mandingo dicks. And this guy is lined up going, yeah, none of these motherfuckers got shit on Davidson's dick. Because I'm going dick her down, I'm going to make her laugh, and then I'm going dick her down again. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Pete Davidson is the Riz God. He makes Leonardo DiCaprio look like it's child's play, bro. And this guy's just getting started. He's still young.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
He's just getting started.
Oh.
I live vicariously through Pete Davidson. I'm on social media and I'm going, this motherfucker, how is this guy doing this?
He ain't even advertising because it's word of mouth.
It's word of mouth. That's the best type of pussy you can get to. Word of mouth pussy. They going into his DMs.
Yes.
I guarantee you they like, yo, Pete, you gonna be in town? I got to see what this is all about. and this guy's going, okay. I mean, yeah, sure. Fuck it. I mean, I'm in. Dude, this Pete Davidson.
Oh my God.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, he's doing well for himself. He's doing well for himself.
Very well.
You know who else is?
Well.
But you know who you would expect? What's that fucking white dude comedian that was on Wild Note or whatever the fuck, and now he's like crazy big. Strife. Oh my God.
White dude on Wild and Out?
Yeah, bro.
I don't know. I don't watch Wild and Out, so I don't watch TV.
Well, he's not there anymore. Like, he's moved on from that, but it was... I'm gonna...
Matt Ride?
That can't be Matt Ride.
That's what somebody said in chat.
Oh,
Matt Ride. Yeah, this guy.
Rife. Matt Rife.
Rife. That's it. Rife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing this guy on social media a lot lately.
He's really good working like the crowd. Like, he's funny as fuck working the crowd. Because he's from Wild Note, so he's fast on his feet, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's a good-looking guy. Like, he can bag.
That's who you expect to be bagging like a Pete Davidson, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But Pete Davidson looked like a meth addict just come out the clinic. And this man is getting called up on the daily.
You know what Pete Davidson got? You know, here's the other intangible thing that Pete Davidson has, and I think this is his secret sauce that nobody really talks about.
The broken little boy?
Yes. He is the guy that looks like he needs saving.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's going through it. And he's down on his luck.
He's got that Smallville theme song playing in the background on a daily basis.
Like, I feel like the girls not only want to fuck this dude because they hear, but they want to be the ones that saves him. You know what I mean?
Which makes you wonder if all these girls are the ones that have like the some girls have like the motherly attitude, like they're going to eventually make good moms,
complex,
right? And then there are some girls that do not have that at all. I bet you these girls are probably like the motherly They might be in their they might be in their hoe era, but they're still like.
I mean, unless you're Kim Kardashian, I mean, he just probably got in that to get in that, right? But like,
yeah, that was just bagging for bagging.
I mean, that's
this
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
I mean, the publicity alone, you're gonna make millions just from bagging that.
Exactly.
But I mean, holy shit, this guy has got the sauce. I mean, he has just got the sauce. One of these days, dude. I mean, I'm surprised there hasn't been a sex tape, a leak, anything. So that shit comes out, that guy's gonna make so much goddamn money. It's insane. It's insane.
You know, it'd be the craziest plot twist would be that he's actually just got an average dick, but the girls just like him.
Oh, there's no way. There's no way, because if that was the case,
the plot twist, I don't people think would be in shambles.
I don't think people, and I mean, it's universally known. Like, the girls have publicly said this shit on record that like, this dude's dick. He is dicking me down like you don't know, like nobody's business. This guy has got the riz. He's got it, man. He's got it.
It's easy to have riz when you're hung like a fucking horse, though. That shit's
and
easier.
You're funny, and you're fucking funny. He's a funny guy too, right? Yeah. He's fucking funny.
I actually don't find him funny at all. Like, I've never laughed at any of his fucking comedy, but like, I get it. Like, it's just not my type of comedy. But he's obviously a funny guy. But yeah, I think it's the little lost boy complex. And it's the 10-inch dick that he's wielding like the Master Sword. That dude knows what he's fucking doing. That man is pulling Excalibur from these girls' pussies on a fucking daily basis.
I'm surprised crazy. Pete Davidson isn't dating Taylor Swift. Like, I'm surprised he hasn't gone down that road yet. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's to come. Maybe it's coming. Maybe it's coming. Who knows?
Possible.
Because he is going after every and I don't even know if I think the girls are going after him.
Yeah, I think that's it.
He's dating some chick now. I just saw on social media. I'm like, God, what are you doing? What's in your water, man?
I don't even know who half these girls are anymore.
Like, who's your dad? Can I see this man? Where did you, where does this come from? Because this is crazy as hell. Anyway, I digress. I've fanboyed over Pete Davidson's ability to bag chicks for far too long.
Pete Davidson, soon to be Selena Gomez's new fling.
Oh,
crazy meets crazy. That would be a fucking wild ride. That one.
I'd have to follow them on social media. I'd have to see it. I don't follow any of them, but like, I'd have to follow them just to watch, just to see the shit unfold.
It's true. Last little bit, it's not anything to talk about. I just want to throw it out here. Perhaps my favorite possible development this week for gaming: Red Dead Redemption 2 Switch Edition was spotted in Brazil. Not confirmed yet, but spotted. If true, I cannot wait to see what that game looks like running on a Switch. I don't know how the fuck you get Red Dead 2 to run on that fucking console, but I need to see it. I need to see what that looks like. And if they pull it off, even at 15 FPS, it's the greatest accomplishment in the history of video games. I don't give a fuck. Like, people talking about, Tears of the Kingdom being the greatest accomplishment on the Switch. Fuck that shit. You get Red Dead 2 with so much detail, the horse's testicles shrink in the fucking cold in that game. Visually, why? Now, there's some shit that you didn't need to pay anyone to make the horse balls shrink, but they did. Added nothing to gameplay at all, but it's there. Will the balls shrink on the Switch version? That's the real question. We're going to have to wait and find out. Mr. Black, it's time to sell out. If you wanted to secretly follow Selena Gomez because you can't get over all of these pictures as of late and the fact that she has her tits hanging out basically in every one of them, but you don't want anyone to know about it, do we have anything for that?
We do. NordVPN will make it so that you can mask all of your internet.
If you're secretly a Taylor Swift fan, but you don't want your family to know.
I can tell you I'm not one of them, but if you are one of those and you want to mask your IP, you don't want the world to know where you're looking. You want to have anonymity. You want to have your own little pocket of the internet that you can be in by yourself and nobody knows where you're at. NordVPN can hook you up. And guess what, guys? It's less than a cup of coffee a month. When you get a 2-year subscription, you're also going to get 4 extra months tacked on top which brings the cost down even more. We're talking 2 years, 4 months for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks a month. Stay anonymous. Watch different regions of Netflix and other streaming services just at the click of a button. For those who don't know, if you're watching, let's go with Suits on Canadian Netflix, and you're like, you know what? I've watched all of Suits, but there's this other show that's kind of like Suits, but it's only available in the US Netflix, and I am not traveling across the border to watch this show. Guess what? You can do it digitally with NordVPN. You just click of a button, bink, US, choose your state, boom. I want to be from New York today. Hey, load up Netflix, boom. You can watch that show that you've always wanted to watch. You're on Twitter, something there UFC related. Oh, this isn't available in your region. Get cucked. Well, how about not getting cucked? How about using NordVPN, mask your IP to the region in which you can watch that content, and boom, you're enjoying it like the ones in that region. But you ask yourself, Jeff, what if I'm not interested in watching any of that stuff? I just want to watch the stuff that I want to watch. Well, I bet you want to be safe when you're on the internet, don't you? How many times have you gone on a website and put your credit card information in there? How many times have you gone to a website and all of a sudden there's these malicious pop-ups coming all over the place? You're looking, next thing you know, there's a budget Pete Davidson up there on the screen with a donger flowing around. And you're going, whoa, I didn't sign up for this.
Not as big as Pete's, though.
Yeah, not as big as Pete's. I don't want to see this. Don't worry. NordVPN can make it so that you don't have to deal with these malicious pop-ups. These websites aren't going to be taking your cookie information and tracking what you're doing and getting your information. And heck, they even got an app, desktop app, where you can run a thing called threat protection in the background. You run that, you're not connected to a server, it just runs on your PC. That will detect malware on your PC and remove it. When you go to websites, it'll be like, whoa, don't go here. This is a bad website. You sure you want to go here? If so, I'll let you go, but I'm letting you know this could be a bad time. NordVPN can do that. Use the promo code OTT. Get yourself that massive discount plus 4 extra months. Stay safe, stay anonymous on the internet. Support Adam and I. Support yourself and the sponsor all at once. Christmas season is coming. You know what's a great gift? A subscription to NordVPN. Unlock the internet with NordVPN. Geez, that sounds like it could be a slogan. You know, just unlock the internet with NordVPN. Promo code OTT. Do that. Head on over there, NordVPN.com/OTT. And guys, 30-day money-back guarantee. Try it out. Don't like it? Hey, no questions asked. Get all your money back. Boom. Get it all back within 30 days. Is that it? I don't know how else to sell it to you.
Easy.
I really don't. I don't know what else to say, guys, except go. Run. Get it now. It's available on your PC, Mac, iOS, Android, everything. It's there. I don't want no excuses. Head on over there and do it. That's it.
And now it's time for
movies and TV.
Just apropos of nothing, I just opened up my phone, Twitter. I wanted to see if there was a random Taylor Swift or Selena Gomez post. There wasn't. But what there was somebody, I'm not on my following, I'm on the For You thing or some shit. And so somebody retweeted this, and it's basketball related. So it's some chick sitting in a car going, me when I randomly remember I fumbled Austin Reeves, who is a basketball player for the Los Angeles Lakers. Fumbled Austin Reeves because I had a boyfriend at the time. Now he's making $54 billion playing alongside LeBron James. And somebody quote retweeted that and said, all it took was some money and fame for her to regret being loyal to her dude. It's ugly out here.
Sad, but it's true, ain't it? It's sad, but it's true.
Why are you going to tell on yourself like that?
Sad, but it's true, man.
I think that's probably one of the funniest parts of social media. People telling on themselves all the time, bro.
All the time.
all the time, bro. It's crazy.
All the time, bro.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Except
man,
for Pete. Pete ain't telling us the secret, Pete.
Yeah, man.
What's the secret, Pete?
Oh, I mean, Pete. We've already discussed the secret. We already know. It's not even a secret anymore. It's out there.
It's the worst kept secret in Hollywood.
It is the worst kept secret. The absolute worst. So, I mean, it is what it is, man.
How's that strike?
Ain't loyal.
How's that strike going, Mr. Black? I think the writers are done. I think they got their piece, so now we're waiting on the rest of it.
Yeah, we're waiting on the actors now.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that the actors thing is supposed to. I think they're trying to target to be done after the first week of October, by the first week, because if not, then pretty much all of the production and stuff is going to be fucked until the new year. So they're really rushing. That's also a reason why the writer's strike, they were really hammering down and like going all hours of the night and stuff, because there's a certain type of window that production needs. And if it wasn't done, then that's it. Shit ain't getting done until the new year. So now the writers got the stuff that they wanted, or the vast majority. I'm sure the actors will do that.
Which is crazy, because we thought the actors would be done before the writers.
Yeah. Well, I think what the writers, I could be given wrong information, but something along the lines of the writers are back, but only doing specific things. And if the actors don't get compensation, that there's still gonna be some issues with the writers. I don't know exactly what it is, but basically the actors were backing the writers, and now the writers are backing the actors, type thing.
Okay.
To a degree. But the actors are gonna get what they want to a degree anyway, because if not, production, I mean, they're already hurting. So they just gotta go, okay, you know what? All right, fine.
Other than that, I just have to say that earlier today it was announced that the legendary Irish-English actor Sir Michael Gambon sadly passed away at the age of 82, apparently according to his family. It was peacefully after, unfortunately, fighting a bad bout of pneumonia that he ended up having, and passed away. While many people in our age group, Mr. Black, would know Mr. Gambon chiefly for being the second man to play Dumbledore in the Harry Potter films. He was an immensely I mean, he's Sir Michael Gambon. You have to get something to get that far. Immensely respected member of the entertainment industry, both in theater, where he would have started, like many of them across the pond, and film for 60 years. This man putting in work for a long time, and so all the best to his family. He will be, of course, missed, and of course, there's lots of Snape and Dumbledore pictures going around on Twitter today, because both of their actors, unfortunately, have now passed. But yeah, sad to see. 82, not too bad, but you never like it when somebody gets taken out by something but like pneumonia. That just sucks. You'd rather it just be old age instead of something like, a lingering illness that turns into pneumonia.
But usually old age.
It comes with old age.
With old age.
Yeah.
That stuff, exactly. It's like, not everybody, gets to live super long lives and just kind of
Not everyone's Sir Ian McKellen, 97,000 years old, still doing theater.
Or like Bob Barker or something, you know what I mean? Like fucking 99 years old, lived a full life. It's still sad for sure, but like, I mean, it's life, we're all going.
It's tough.
But a lot of the times these older people, they get pneumonia and that's
game over.
That's game over. No matter how much money you got, no matter how much, you only can do so much.
It's true. But so there you go. That's all I really have for movies and TV. Ain't much else going on.
I'm trying to think. I'm gonna go see The Creator tomorrow or probably Saturday.
Which
I
one's
hear the
that now?
movies. It's called The Creator. It's like it's a sort of this futuristic AI type thing. I don't know much about it. But Hans Zimmer does the score.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was only $80 million budget, but it looks like a $300 million movie, and the stuff they did was crazy. And it's like, I don't know what it is on Rotten Tomatoes right now, but I'm hearing amazing things, and people are projecting that the film is going to be like a box office disaster because not a lot of people know about it. But I kind of want to just go out there and check it out. But outside of that, there's not much going on. Bro, before we move on, you know what I'm about to say? Show. It's a show.
Oh, go on. Dude, you go for it.
Love is Blind.
There you go.
Tell me, you and M.
No, we haven't seen it yet. We haven't even sat down to watch anything on TV in like 7-10 days now. We're working like literally like she's working one side, I'm working the other. We go to bed together, and that's about all we've had here for some time.
When you got some free time, the first few episodes are out. The next ones come out tomorrow.
Is it spicy?
Oh, this is the most spicy one yet. By a country mile.
Now, are we talking about cringe spicy, or just like these are just like you can tell that there's going to be some? Does it look like somebody's trying to be spicy? Because you know with these series, eventually you get people that are there to like blow it up like pipe bomb.
No.
Okay.
No. This is there's some organic spice going on.
Okay. Okay.
There's some organic spice.
Okay. All right.
And I'm not going to spoil anything. I can't spoil anything because it's going to ruin it for you. But let's just say that there's something that happens in Love is Blind that has never happened on any other Love is Blind. And I'm not even upset about it. And it gets to the point where you don't get the reveal until I think this is the third episode that's out. It's either the third or the fifth. I don't know how many episodes are out.
Okay.
Might be the fifth.
Okay.
They drop that bomb. The people on the show are going, the fuck? And the people at home are going, the fuck? And the payoff? Dude, they haven't even left the pods yet. They're just leaving the pod. Like, some of them are just getting engaged now. It's spicy. And usually, Love is Blind is just like another one of these shows I watch, and it's like, yeah, it's okay. I enjoy it, but like it's not changing my life. This is venturing into Temptation Island levels of spice for me.
Oh,
it's venturing there. It's good. And the thing is, it's not even in that type of shit, because I know M is the type, from what I'm gathering, is when shit's like too spicy, she gets upset, or like she doesn't like.
It can't be too overly dramatic because her whole job is dealing with crazy people. So like,
So what's nice about this is like it's organic spice.
Okay.
And it's like nobody is particularly crazy. There is like one person that's a little,
So it's situationally spicy.
It's situationally spicy.
Not the people's per se, but the situation is the spice.
Yes. And I guarantee you that when production was bringing these people in, they had no idea until they knew. And then they were like, you know what? Don't tell anybody. Let's just see where this goes. And it's going. And I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Tomorrow, I'm going on a binge.
All right. I'll see what I can get her to watch. I know right now we have to watch we missed last week's Wheel of Time.
Yeah, we stopped watching that until
it came out
all
on Friday.
The episodes are out.
Yeah, because it came out on Friday instead of Thursday, so we'll watch that for sure. And then after that, I'll see if I can convince her to to switch over.
The Wheel of Time thing, I'm a little checked out. I'm not gonna lie. Kayla's been enjoying it. I'm indifferent. I'm just like, if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. Like, that's where I'm at now.
Some episodes I'm like, okay, yeah. And then other episodes are just kind of like,
and some of it is
bad,
like
just
but I find some of the acting's pretty bad, and I find some of the CGI and sort of just the premises of it, it just feels a little too budget. It's teetering on almost teeny, like teen type. And maybe that's what it is, and I didn't really get that.
No, Wheel of Time is like the closest thing to
young
modern,
adult,
modern version of like Lord of the Rings.
Okay, yes.
So it's that. It's not really meant for young adults, but the show is probably catering partially to maybe like this 16, 17, 18 on the low end. I actually think this is just for like 18 to 35, like typical.
Yeah.
Shit.
I don't hate it. Don't get me wrong. We're just gonna wait until the rest of the episodes come out, and then we'll I'm gonna finish the second season for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean,
I find a couple of the characters to just be annoying.
Yes.
Like and not like. And
not
I don't.
Annoying.
I keep watching the show thinking, is this intentional? Like they want me to hate the character, or is it just I'm going to hate this character and there's no reason for it? I'm just going to hate the character, and I can't figure out what the fuck it is yet. So
and I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah,
too,
and so that puts me off a little bit, and so.
But there's some really cool stuff in it. Like there's some cool premises. There's some some fantasy. Some like There's like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I know we watched the first, I think 3 episodes. So I don't know how many are out right now. So we're like 3, maybe 4 in. I can't remember. But outside of that, we haven't been watching anything else.
I just think it was shocking that they didn't advertise the second season like at all. Like this dropped, and the fans of the first season, there were people on social media going,
"Wait, it's out?
This has been out for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Why did I not? I'm literally the demographic. I'm the person that should know about this, and I didn't know about it." And so, it was kind of odd. So I don't know if we're going to find out that they're like sending this bitch off to pasture or something. I don't know. But either way, there you go. I'll see what I can convince Em to digest for.
Speaking of that, one of the deals that the writers have made is they start to get paid significantly more as more seasons happen, which means Netflix is just gonna,
they're gonna stop at like season 3.
Oh yeah, that'll be your cap. They're just gonna be like, no. So, don't try and fall too in love with certain shows because they ain't gonna last. They ain't gonna last all that long.
But you know what, Mr. Black? They're gonna reboot The Office.
Oh fuck!
They announced that this week. Hey, let's reboot the most quoted television show in fucking modern TV history. For reasons, all these actors are still alive and actively like in Hollywood and on TV, and we're gonna reboot the series that already had 7, 8 seasons. Why? Because nobody can fucking
they can't
do
create
anything original anymore.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Like who wants that? Who actually wants that? It's like one of the most watched shows on streaming networks right now.
Is
now
The Office. Yes.
So why in the fuck would anyone be like, you know what I could go for? More Office, except with totally different fucking people.
Dude, this is some idiots at the top looking at some metrics and going, you know what? This is a big show. It's still big, and this show came out a decade ago. Let's just go ahead and redo this thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be huge.
Oh.
Said nobody ever. Fuck you. Fuck off. I hope people just don't watch it and they just watch the old one.
And you know what? Like that would be. It wouldn't shock me if they go through with it. They will deplatform the old one, leading up to the release of the.
And you know what they'll do? They'll pay some of the old actors an obscene amount of money to show up, and they'll put that in the promotional stuff.
You know what they're gonna do? I don't know if you ever watched any of The Office. But there's like the picture that they show from The Office of Michael Scott's character when he first started working for the company, and it's a picture of him shaking his boss's hand, and he's there with like a fucking fanny pack and like the long, like whatever the fuck, and he looks clueless as shit, like just like completely fucking dopey. They're gonna fucking recreate that picture where Michael Scott is now the guy shaking the new boss's hand, and there's gonna be that is how
100%.
That's happening.
100%. No doubt.
Some bullshit. Anyway, it's time for
tech support.
Patreon.com/LikeTV if you want to financially support this podcast and the StarCraft content that you get on top of it. $5 or more a month. You get a couple of perks. Chiefly, you get to ask us some questions. and we give you answers. I put up a post before the podcast every week on the Patreon page. Ask your questions there, and we answer as many as we can in the time that we have. And sometimes they even make it to the StarCraft side if they will fit in with the program. Mr. Maximus Black, it's a popular format right now, and thankfully Taylor Swift not involved. The Blainer asks, fuck, marry, kill, spaghetti, mac and cheese, and lasagna.
Oh, I am okay.
That's
killing
tough.
spaghetti. I'm killing spaghetti.
Okay.
Now if it's spaghetti and meatballs, I'm fucking it. But if it's just plain out spaghetti, that's it. Spaghetti with sauce, it's getting killed.
Okay.
I'm fucking mac and cheese because I feel like mac and cheese is something that you have a one night stand with. You know, you get a good mac and cheese, it's fucking great. You don't want to marry mac and cheese. You don't want mac and cheese all the time. But a good fucking, oh, I'm fucking that all day. And the thing is with pasta, like spaghetti, I can get, you know, for me, spaghetti, and this is a hot take. It's a hot take.
A hot spaghetti take.
It's a hot spaghetti take. Spaghetti for me is made by the meatballs and the sauce.
Yes, pasta's a vehicle.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So if it's spaghetti with meatballs, then this whole thing changes a little bit because it depends on the meatballs and it depends on the spaghetti and and the sauce. Sorry, I prefer when I'm having spaghetti meatballs. I like one big meatball on top of the spaghetti, some Parmesan cheese, some good marinara sauce, or the marinara sauce or whatever they use. That's the show. I then would be fucking that. I'd be fucking that hard. Problem is, he didn't say, so I got to kill the spaghetti. I got to hard fuck the mac and cheese. You can't kill mac and cheese, man. You just can't. What would life be like without eating mac and cheese ever again? And I have mac and cheese like 3 times a year. And the thing is when I have that mac and cheese, I usually have it at like a fine dining restaurant or like at, you know, my fucking like aunt's house, and she's got like that old school black ass mac and cheese shit that like just reminds you of your childhood all day. Spaghetti, fuck that. I can get my fill with pasta and sauce on virtually anything. It's whatever. Nothing special. Lasagna, on the other hand, I'm marrying the fuck out of lasagna. How can you not, out of all three, if you ain't picking lasagna to marry, lasagna is not only what spaghetti and sauce is, but better. It also got that fuckable quality that mac and cheese got, but it's something you can fuck every week if you really wanted to, and you wouldn't get tired of it. Not only that, lasagna, you can even have bad lasagna and it still be an okay time. Really. I mean, you just can. And on top of that, there's something comforting about lasagna. Just like mac and cheese, there's something comforting about it. After you're done sleeping with it and having it sit there, it feels good. I just had lasagna, and usually make enough of it so that you can have it again the next day, and you heat that bitch up and it still tastes fucking good. I am marrying lasagna. I am fucking mac and cheese, and I'm killing spaghetti. Easy.
And I have the same list.
There you go. It's the only list I have.
Listen, lasagna is what you get if you take spaghetti and you add mac and cheese.
Yes.
It's marinara sauce with different cheeses and noodles. It's literally it's just a different form of cheese and a different form of noodle. That's the show. So you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting at least 2 different types of cheese, plus the marinara sauce. Sometimes some people make it with like a bolognese, so a meat marinara sauce.
Yeah. Which I like too. I like that too.
When I make spaghetti, I never have spaghetti with just marinara. It always has beef. It literally, I don't make meatballs because they're too much effort compared to just doing like ground beef. But it's bolognese every time. There's no such thing as just fucking straight marinara.
It ain't pizza. All right.
No.
Yeah. No.
So I have the same list. I mean, mac and cheese isn't like Kraft Dinner or mac and cheese in a box. We're talking like actual, honest to God, 2-3 types of cheese in this bitch.
Yes.
Like that's mac and cheese,
Baked,
mac and cheese.
Fucking real good.
Sometimes breadcrumb on top when you got bacon in the oven.
Yes. See, I can fuck that, man. That's a
Yes.
good one night stand, man. That's a good one night stand.
Yes.
Busting you all kinds of nuts. I'd be shooting ropes all day. I want some mac and cheese right now. No, fuck spaghetti, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not even a big spaghetti fan. It's not even fun to eat. It's like it's annoying. It gets all over the place. You're slurping and derping and fucking shit. I mean, yeah, I'll eat it. But like I ain't never if Kayla's upstairs, she's like, I'm like, hey, what's for dinner tonight? Spaghetti. I'm never like, yeah, spaghetti. Woo! But if she's like, I got lasagna in the oven, yes, please. Yes, please.
Borkchop asks, if you could go back in time to give one piece of advice to yourself in your mid-20s, what would you say? Don't stop exercising, you lazy fuck.
That's a good one.
Basically it. That's pretty much the
in
show.
my early 20s, I'm gonna go like really early 20s. So we're talking 2021.
That was down bad Jeff era.
That was down bad Jeff era. By the way, William, thank you for the money.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know what NZ is, but thank you,
New Zealand.
sir. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm gonna go with You want the answer that first came to my mind, or do you want
go
one
for
that's
it. Bro, we already
Fuck more
yeah, there you
chicks.
go. Yeah.
Fuck them all. Fuck them all. Dipping them all. Just experience. I mean, there are flavors of ice cream that I never got to eat. And I'm a married man now. I'm a faithful married man. It is what it is. I'm happy. I'm blessed. But at the same time, you're only in your early 20s once. And I've had opportunities. And, I was 20 years old trying to be in long-term relationships and shit. And I'm not bagging on anybody out there that does that by any means. But like when you get some life experience in you, and if you're one of the lucky ones out there, whether you're a guy or a girl, and you're one of the lucky ones that actually, is in a good, solid relationship, maybe your high school sweethearts, and like you're destined to like spend the rest of your lives together, that's a fairy tale. It's a rare fairy tale. I'm happy for you. But you're also missing out. And it's not necessarily just for the sex. It's not necessarily just to bust you a couple. It's the experience. It's the different flavors. It's the experience. It's just to say you've done it, man. To go out there and just get it done. And when I was in my early 20s, like, don't get me wrong, like, but I had some ice cream, but like I had a lot of vanilla ice cream, man. I had a lot of vanilla ice cream, and sometimes, you want chocolate, chip, you want what's that, like moon mist, you want fucking
moon mist is like a Nova Scotia specific flavor. I don't know how many people actually get on the moon mist hype, but
you want strawberry, you want Napoleon. You want it, speaking of Napoleon, that's threesome.
Does
you
actually
get three
anyone
different
want?
Flavors.
Okay, that's different. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
does anyone actually want Napoleon ice cream? Or
no, but
no,
like,
wait, no, you're Napoleon. You got me fucked up. It's Neapolitan.
It's the
what
same
do you mean,
thing,
Napoleon?
bro.
Napoleon is a fucking the French leader. I actually went along with that. My brain went along with that for a scary amount of time.
I was talking about.
I know.
You knew exactly what I was talking about,
Neapolitan.
Man. Neapolitan. Come on. So that's the first. That's the first thing that comes to my mind is, have some fun. Of course, do it responsibly. Don't like stick your dick in everything. You know what I'm saying? But like, if I had to tell myself that, it would be like, you know what, Jeff? Just if you want to do it, just go do it, man. You're 20, bro. You're only gonna be this age once in your life. One time. You're gonna be young. You're full of fucking testosterone. Your dick is hard 23 hours of the day. You think about sex all the time. Why get out of one relationship and jump into the next immediately? You don't need to do that, bro. Experience. Have some fun. Get that experience in. Get it out of your system. Then go and commit. That's my honest answer.
Ace High asks, Jeff, how much do we have to pay for you to do a second playthrough of I Want to Be the Boshi?
Oh.
Is there a dollar amount? Okay.
10 grand. $10,000 I'll do it.
Adam, how much for your first? Also 10 grand.
Yeah.
The only I Want to Be the Guy game that I played, and I beat it twice in the same day, I went back and played through it the second time immediately, was I Want to Be the Guy Gaiden. I didn't do any of the other ones. I did that one. I beat it, and then I went back and did it again. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I don't really feel like
Boshi.
I don't really feel like torturing myself any more than that."
I've spent more hours on Solgrim, the last boss in Boshi, than what you've played in Starfield.
Oh yeah. Oh, you were there a while. You were there a long time,
dude. It is quite literally the hardest thing I have ever done in a video game. Ever.
Which really,
it's not close.
Which really it fucks you up when you find out that there's speedrunners that literally don't take a single point of damage.
Well, you can't. That's the thing. You can't. You take 1 damage in that, Adam, you die. It's game over.
No, I know, but no death. What I mean is no deaths for the whole run.
Game? Yeah, okay, yeah. But I mean, you be.
I know. It's one.
You can't get hit. And I mean, dude, the thing is. And then on top of that, there's like an element of RNG as well in that boss that sometimes you just get dealt a fucking shitty hand, and it's just it is what it is. That was crazy, man. That shit was crazy. Now I think about it, 15 grand. I'm off it.
I'm still at 10.
Yeah, no, I'm 15. You want me to replay that bitch? I'm 15. It made me a god tier platformer though.
Of course.
Not a lot of people that can fuck with me in platformers. After that,
Henry Chesmore asks or says first and has a question. Had a daughter about 3 months ago. Congratulations.
Congrats.
And of course she has to be on the most expensive formula. Why is it $55 in the States and only $22 in Canada? I feel like I'm getting fucked down here. Don't worry, we're getting fucked just for different reasons.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never. My wife always breastfed, so we never had formula.
There's a good chance that it's partially subsidized here. If it's formula, like baby formula, it's possible that it's subsidized. It might fall under government subsidy. That would be my first guess. Would be government subsidy, because otherwise everything in the States is more here because of the dollar strength difference and taxation of goods across the border. So if we're getting stuff cheaper, it's usually because it's something that falls under some form of government program subsidy. And baby formula would make sense to me that it's under that umbrella. But yeah, we just get fucked for different reasons. Don't worry. We don't need to go a big thing, but man, we are down bad up here right now. We got our government managed to, everyone in that room managed to stand up and clap. Bro. Bro.
Anyway.
And I'm not, you know what the annoying thing is? I'm not happy with either side's response to it. Because one side
well, we knew what the conservative side was going to do.
Yes,
right?
They're weaponized the fuck out of that. I mean, obviously.
It's all political fuck. I mean, you got to shoot your shot, but I mean, Trudeau's a fucking twat, man.
100%.
It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
He literally
cabin for days.
He literally made the speaker, even though he's not okay. So on one hand, he's not wrong. It's like the people they in Parliament, they have a right to just bring whoever the fuck, which is a weird rule to begin with.
Yeah.
That maybe this is the impetus where that changes, right? Like sometimes you have to have some shit go down where you look at the rule and go, maybe we shouldn't do that anymore. This might be the thing that changes that rule. So he's not wrong from that respect. With that being said, this wasn't like another average day in the office. Right?
No, bro.
So even though typically it is not the something that the prime minister would worry himself with as to who's bringing somebody in, because he's not wrong. They had the security there. Obviously, they're flagging everyone come through the fucking door of the building. Obviously, but in this instance, you got to dot your I's, cross your T's. Everything got to be perfect.
You know who you got in the building, bro. Come on. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure out. You're an idiot.
You gotta
I'm
do
sorry.
more than the typical due diligence on that bitch. And then he had the balls to allow the speaker to be the only one to fall on the sword. Like,
of course,
bro.
Of course he did.
On.
You can't, dude. This guy can't admit to nothing, bro.
He's got
no responsibility,
no accountability, like whatsoever.
None, zero, bro.
Yeah,
Just own it,
bad.
man. Like you fucked up. It's okay. You fucked up. It's not okay, but you fucked up.
Yeah,
but it's all good. Hey. It is what it is. You know what? I'm low key. I mean, I'm upset that it happened, but I'm low key got a smile on my face because it's just another thing that, you know, people can get behind to get this fucking idiot out of office because it is nuts. It's fucking. It was embarrassing, bro. It's all over the place.
It's really, you know what? It's gonna feel bad for Eric because every one of the buildings stood up and clapped, right? And you got to imagine the guy was probably sitting there going,
"Oh, he's gone." He's going, uh-oh. What the fuck? Huh.
Are you guys aware?
Oh, man. What an embarrassment, dude. I mean,
that shit's crazy, bro. What the fucking absolutely insane. So
it's a shame. It's a shame. It's sad that it happened. It really is. But it just goes to show that this guy, I mean, he's just he is just off.
He's lost, bro. He's lost
it. He's lost it. I mean, and he hasn't always been like this. That's the crazy thing. Is like, I used to be like, okay, yeah, you know what, you know.
But he's lost. You can see, like, he's lost. Like when he talks, he's lost.
Oh yeah, he doesn't know what to do. No. And you know, and the conservative side, you got Pierre here, who's witty. He's on his feet. Yeah,
he has nothing like. Like there's not much that he can kind of like. No, there's not a lot of clapback because he doesn't have any like. He hasn't been in the role yet, like himself. So Trudeau's sitting there going, "Well, fuck, this guy can just ream me out."
Rebuttal. Yeah,
and I'm over here just eating it all day, and I can't even.
That's all he can do is just deflect. That's all he can do.
Which is gonna be frustrating as fuck.
Super frustrating.
Oh my god, that drive me fucking crazy.
Super frustrating.
It's so funny. And for those who don't know about how Canadian Parliament works, when it's like question hour or whatever the fuck question period, it's like an hour. They all sit in Parliament. They got the opposition on one side of the hall, and the sitting government on the other side, and then the Speaker of the House in the middle. And the speaker's supposed to be like, it's kind of like the Speaker of the States, but it's different. Like they have different roles. But literally, they have to everything. It's everything goes through the speaker. They can hear each other. They're like fucking 10 feet apart. But it's like the psychological deal of they're saying everything to the speaker. They address the speaker. They're not even allowed to use the other person's name.
No,
they can say the representative from or the honorable whatever the fuck, but they can't say anything else. And so you're watching this argument happen as the speaker just sits there and he's the proxy for these guys. And it's so funny to listen to them struggle to not just turn to one another and just start
and
fucking
just say, man, fuck you. Yeah, you're a dumbass. You can't do that. You can't talk to them directly.
Some dude literally dropped if you want to say this shit outside, we can go do this. And they say it to the speaker. They say it to the speaker, and I was like, bro, that's the craziest shit.
Yeah, bro. And then Trudeau just fucking passes the buck on him. And he's like, dude, he's trying to get this guy to resign, and everything else is like, my God, man, you are lost on the sauce. I can't imagine. I mean, he's going through it with his family and shit right now. I mean, he's probably got so much shit. I mean, he's lost. He's lost, bro.
He's got too much going on. You can't. No. That's why I said, like, even like that's what I'm concerned about is like, even if he had good intentions and you didn't agree with everything of all his decisions, the problem is now he's lost, and you just don't need somebody that lost to be making, bad choices like that, and or just making it wasn't even like a choice, it was a judgment call. He could have thought to himself, Zelensky's here. Yep. We gotta do extra. This is not the average day in the neighborhood, and that didn't pass through his mind.
The most high-profile fucking president out there, essentially. Yeah. I mean, and right now, and you've got people in Parliament right now that has, it's like, dude, read the fucking room, man. He's out here just too busy trying to be a hero, and he He's so narcissistic, it's insane. Anyway, I could go on about this guy for fucking forever in a day.
I know.
But it is what it is. And he's not a total dipshit. Like, that's the thing. It's like, he's got some good qualities. We just don't see them anymore at all.
No.
It's like they're gone. His whole riz is gone. It's like he was this, fucking good-looking young guy, family's been in,
international stage. He was good.
Yes,
like, everyone liked him.
Clean. Was just your liberal, by the book. And dude, even fucking NDP has had enough of this fucking guy, for Christ's sake. Even they're like, dude, what are you doing?
And they're supposed to be in a coalition.
They're supposed to be together, bro. It's like, come on, man. Anyway, enough politics before we upset. It's probably not too many Canadians. Actually, there's a decent amount. There's like 27.
Yeah, we're not saying anything crazy. I mean, everyone knows that situation was literally insane.
It was fucking
wild. Let me see here. Yolt, who's your favorite StarCraft character? We already did a unit. We already know what our units, your favorite units are. We've said that multiple times. But character, man. I don't know. I actually don't know. They're all good characters. That's the problem. They're like, there's nobody that stands out.
What's the question? Ask it again.
What's our favorite StarCraft character?
I mean, I'll probably go with Kerrigan. Is probably
the tragic character.
Because like there's been she's had a full-fledged character development, beginning, middle, end. If I had to pick one, it's the one that comes to mind. The thing is what I always found about StarCraft, and this might be a bit of a hot take, but I feel like a lot of StarCraft, a lot of my enjoyment from StarCraft when it comes to the campaign was sort of the world itself and the story itself. It wasn't necessarily single individual characters where I go, you know what? It's like watching Dragon Ball Z. I have my favorite characters, right? Vegeta's my favorite. But in StarCraft, when I think of StarCraft campaign, I don't necessarily think of the characters. I just think of the whole thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick Kerrigan,
all right, let's go with one more question. We were supposed to make this a short podcast. We failed fucking miserably. We got hooked up on that Taylor Swift conversation.
Yeah, fuck me, man.
Ate us up, bro. It's gonna get. Hey, listen, people are gonna have a good drive to work. It's just it happens.
The Swifties are gonna hate me for sure. Fortunately, our demographic is not a Taylor Swift demographic, so I think I'll be all right.
Yeah, you're probably gonna be okay. Marky Mark, have you ever clogged a toilet that was not your own? Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, bro.
I remember I clogged Crimps growing up. It was at his place after school. I went in, and it was, they were, first of all, I should have known better. I've been going there, for like my whole life at this point. At that point, that would have been, 8 years of my life. I know, their toilet was never the best in the first place. It was one of those toilets where it didn't take much to cause a problem. Kind of, you flush it and the water, takes forever, even just to, you're up, you're in some trouble, right? I should have known. But, but I didn't think about it at the time. And I just let loose. Shit was crazy, literally. It was a fucking monster. And I went to flush that shit, and the toilet wasn't having it, and I was like, fuck. But it was one of those where the shit and the toilet paper is technically gone, toilet's clogged, but you can't see it. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it will be one of those where give it like a half hour or 45 minutes and stuff will break up some, and then fine. Yeah. I walked out of there and I was like, all right, whatever. Because I didn't see a plunger or anything in the room, and I didn't want to go out, I was a teenager, I wasn't going to be like, hey, why is your plunger? Shit clogged fucking toilet. So I didn't want to do that. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just leave it alone. So we go back into his room. We're playing fucking SmackDown versus Raw, whatever the fuck wrestling game we were playing at the time. And his dad comes home. Daryl come home. Rest his soul. Dad comes home, takes off his shoes, goes upstairs. He's taking, using the washroom after coming home from a long day of work. He comes out, and he's fucking screaming, "Who the fuck clogged the toilet? This water's all over the floor!" And I went, all over the floor? Why that shit went over the floor when I was in there? Shit overflowed. Water was all over the floor. I was like,
shit water?
Was
it shit water?
No, it wasn't shit water because
Okay,
it was
that's
like
good.
on through, but it was enough to back the water up through. Probably his piss was in there. But no shit, but it was like all over the fucking bathroom floor, and he was losing his mind. And bless Ryan, he covered for me. He didn't take the fall, but he was like, "No, it wasn't us."
Yeah, it wasn't me.
And
Dad.
it wasn't us. There were
We didn't
three
use the
other people.
bathroom.
Three other people in the house. Like, I wasn't us. And he, you know what? He probably didn't believe us, but I didn't catch any heat for it. But that I was terrified. I was like, "Oh, Daryl's gonna fucking kill me. He's gonna fucking kill me." I shit in that toilet. I freaking clogged that bitch, and now the toilet water's all over the fucking floor. That's bad time.
I've been there.
No.
I've been there. I remember I stayed at a chick's house. I have two different clog stories, but I'll just give you this one. I only took a piss, but the thing is her toilet was already clogged, and I didn't know.
No!
So it was dark. It was dark in the bathroom, and there was multiple lights. So I had turned one on, but it was like enough light in the bathroom that like I didn't need to turn on any other lights. But but it was still pretty dark. So I take a piss and I flush the toilet and I just leave. I didn't think anything of it. And then I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes later, we started hearing drips, and I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" And then went into the bathroom, bro. There was water all over the thing, and it was like there was piss water, there was toilet paper, and I didn't even use. It was very similar to like what you just described, right? So her toilet was already clogged beforehand, and I think she was embarrassed because it was one of those things where the bathroom was connected to her bedroom, so it wasn't like a public. So it was
hers.
It's her bathroom. It ain't nobody else's bathroom.
So
right?
she blew that shit up.
I think she blew that shit up, right? But there wasn't shit or anything like that. But there was like toilet paper but it was all like broken up, and it was just fucking all over the. I have clogged toilets in like public places.
Oh yeah,
where it's like, and I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. It's the fucking. I could give zero fucks. Zero fucks.
Bro, I'll never forget, it wasn't my shit story, but it was a grade 8 band trip, and we were in New Brunswick at the time, and we had hotel rooms. We were all broken up into, different like units. We have like 2, 3, 4 guys in each room, and one guy, Sandy, was in our room, and Sandy, as soon as we got to the hotel, Sandy used the washer, blew that bitch up fucking fierce, clogged it so bad. But he clogged it so bad you could still see the shit in the bottom of like that. That's how much shit.
Fuck.
And so the shit was blocking it up, and we had no plunger. No, I mean, you can't plunge that anyway. You're just gonna be dipping the plunger right into fucking doo-doo butter. So you can't do that. So you know what he did? He went across. He grabbed a coat hanger, and he literally clawed the shit out with a coat hanger. And then left the shit hanger after just rinsing it off in the bathroom tub. He left the shit hanger on the fucking rack when we left. So there's just some doo-doo fucking hanger on the fucking rack.
Fuck. That's nasty as fuck, bro. Someone's gonna have to pick that hanger up, and it's got fucking
Somebody's
feces all
putting
over
their jacket on or their robe.
Fuck, nasty, bro. That's fucking nasty.
We were like 13. We thought it was the funniest shit we'd ever seen in our fucking lives.
Oh, nah, bro. It's nasty.
That was the same night. One of the other guys, we had like snacks and shit. Remember Crispers, how popular they were when they first came out?
Yes.
All right, so we had Crispers.
And they were delicious.
They were delicious.
Salt and vinegar Crispers or all dressed Crispers. Oh, give
incredible.
me all of those. Do they still have those? Like, can you still buy them?
Probably. I've seen them.
I gotta Google it right now.
But one of them had. Oh no, it wasn't that. Sorry, it was. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. I mean, those were there, but it wasn't what was used.
Oh, they do have them.
They do. There you go.
At Walmart.
It was Cheez-Its.
Oh,
Cheez-Its.
also delicious.
So, but you know how they get like crumbly at the bottom or whatever the fuck else, like you like a bunch of pieces and shit at the bottom. So anyway, one of the guys was sitting in the corner of the room in a chair eating Cheez-Its. It was like 2:00 in the fucking morning or some shit at this time. And one of the other guys on the other side of the hotel room was like, "Man, I want some Cheez-Its. Give me some of these Cheez-Its." And instead of just getting up and walking over and past, he threw the box. Top of the box was open and everything. Fucking threw the box in pitch black room. Like, he didn't see shit. And all I know is that I felt like I was getting rained on. And all of a sudden, every bed, like both beds in the room, the floor, everything, Cheez-Its fucking everywhere. And so for the whole night, I'm rolling around in bed and I'm just getting Cheez-Its in my fucking back. And I woke up the next morning and it's just nothing but like dents and welts and like sores from Cheez-Its all over your fucking bed.
Yo, and them things can be sharp too, man. Like the
Bro,
corners of them
crazy.
bitches, them things hurt.
We were super fucking, we made him sleep on the floor.
Those things are like throwing ninja stars, man. Those things got some they got some slice to them.
So it was an interesting trip. That was the same trip that actually Cleveland's dad was one of the chauffeurs or not chauffeur, chauffeur, fucking chaperones.
Dude,
and
I
it was
remember
the same trip. A guy, it was Crystal Palace. You know Crystal Palace.
Oh,
And when you're in the hotel rooms, there's the pool in the middle, and then you can see the rooms on the other side. Some like 50-year-old dude on the other side, curtains open, exhibition. In front of all the girls, junior high girls, just dong out, playing with himself and shit. and we had our science teacher, Miss Amaral, and like Cleveland's dad came into because our room was like 2 doors down and across from the guy. In comes Daryl, kicks the fucking door in. Miss Amaral's like a gremlin behind him, fucking runs into the room. They turn the lights off, and she like fucking like closes the curtains in her room, and she's like this with her fucking head peeking out the curtains, looking at this fucking dude playing with himself in the fucking window across it. And Daryl's like super mad because he's like all these girls, they're like young girls or whatever, and he's pissed. Amaral thinks it's like funny, but she has to take it seriously because she's the teacher in the fucking room. And we find out that it's like some dude just like full on exhibition. The cops had to come and take this dude away and everything. He was just out there fucking just slapping his shit around.
Yeah, he's out there. I remember I went to Krim's house, and the only thing I ever remember from Krim's house, and I've been there a few times because we were in a band together, right? Yeah. And his dad like fucked with our music. Like his dad was a drummer. Yeah, his dad was super fucking cool. Yeah. And I remember I was in his kitchen, and there was this door in his kitchen somewhere. I don't know if it was a pantry or it was like, but I open up this door, dude, and the amount of Coca-Cola bottles in that man's fucking house.
It's the closet that's under the stairs in the kitchen, and you open it.
Dude, the amount, it looked like a grocery store. But
graveyard, bro.
It was just empty Coke bottles.
Like 2 liter.
Over the
like this.
Yes, full. It's literally it. You open the door and they were falling the fuck out, bro.
Yes.
There was so many Coke bottles. I'm like, Crimp, what the fuck?
Bro, and cans, bottles,
dude, I can't believe. And my mom was like an avid Pepsi drinker. Like she still loves her Pepsi. But this family another fucking level, bro. If you told me all of them had diabetes, I'd be like, makes sense.
Not a single one had diabetes.
Holy fuck, man.
His dad did pass away a few years ago now, unfortunately. But not really? From he had cancer, unfortunately.
Fuck.
But yeah, no diabetes. But some of it though, the reason why, other than the fact that they all obviously loved their Coke, and at the time, back then nobody gave a fuck about drinking that much pop. Nobody fucking cared.
Nobody cared.
It was his dad worked as like a wholesaler, like level, like regional salesperson. So he had deep discount.
That's what Crimp was doing too, right?
That's what he's doing now.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fuck,
Crimp,
his dad was such a good guy, man. I didn't know his dad passed away.
Youngest store manager in the country for Loblaws.
Wow.
Yeah. So he took after his dad. But like his dad was in sales, and that's why he had deep discounts on like fucking everything.
Damn.
So he'd come home, bro. You go to the garage. I'm sure you saw it, and it would be like 5 flats of cans of Coke. And other shit, and then in the fridge, just 2 liter, and then that door, which had a hole in it from his older brother punching a hole in it at one point that they never fixed, it just stayed there. But yeah, you open that door, and it was like you're saying, it was just cans and bottles pouring out onto the floor.
Everywhere.
And I loved it because I never got pop at home very frequently, but every day lunchtime,
bro, it's unlimited.
Double fisted.
You can drink as much Coca-Cola as your heart can desire, man.
And they never it didn't put a dent in it. You just go in there, you could just fucking like hammer a fucking like 6 cans. Wouldn't even put a dent in the friggin' supply in that household. So yeah, it was quite a lot of Coke in that house, to say the least. Many lunchtime Coke escapades, and not up your nose. And we watched. Price is Right into Jerry Springer.
It's good back
Enough
to
time
back
on
right there.
solid back to
It's a
back.
good back to back, and if you skip school, you'd get some more right after that bitch.
Exactly. You are not the father. We should probably cast StarCraft.
We
Mr.
gotta
Black.
go.
We are way behind schedule right now. You guys got treated to literally 45 more minutes than you were supposed to get.
I told Adam this has got to be a short one. I got some shit I got to get done at 6:30.
That's not
and
the
like,
right
yeah,
screen.
yeah, no problem. Here we are. It's 6 o'clock. We still gotta go. We still gotta go fucking cast the StarCraft.
You picked the games out though, so you know.
I got the games out, so just bang, bang, bang. Let's get them done.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy your drive to and from work, because you'll have enough time for fucking both on this podcast. We'll see you next week, and until then, peace.
Hey.